go in that AA podcast chat.
This podcast is brought to you by JList.com. Right now on JList.com, they have all new anime figures available. I know you guys love anime figures. They have 02 from Darling in the Franxx, Nemomiya from Amanchu Advance, Gary and Blastoise from Pokemon. You know that, the evolution of Squirtle. Kazuo, how you feel about that?
I mean, feeling pretty good.
Feeling pretty good? Would you buy a Gary and Blastoise?
A Gary and Blastoise?
Yes.
I would say yes.
I thought so.
Although in my game, his name was never Gary.
Okay. They also have a Kratos Nendoroid from God of War and hundreds, maybe thousands more, no joke. So head over to JList.com if you want any anime figure of any of your favorite characters. You'll find them there. And now it's time to start the podcast.
Yahoo! みんな、アニメアディクツアノニマスのライブブロードキャスト聞かないと泣いちゃうよ。You are listening to the Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast. Make your anime addiction worse at AAAPodcast.com. And now, here are your anime addicts.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to the 420th episode of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast.
That's right.
Yeah. My name is Kazuo, and I am joined, as per usual, by my homie to the left, Mitsuki. Mitsuki, what's up?
What's up, my brother? How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Are you feeling good?
I'm feeling good. It's good to be here with you. It's also good to be here with the one and only Mandel.
Mandel?
Yes.
Who's that?
I don't know. Somebody we found.
I don't know who that is. That's a mystery. I've never heard
We've
that.
got Mandy with us. Mandy, what's up?
Oh,
How are
okay.
you?
I'm doing great. I've got coffee and I'm ready.
Oh,
I'm ready
she's
to do
coffee.
this.
We're all on drugs today.
We are.
That it's our episode 420. Mandy's
That's
on
right.
caffeine. I'm on beer.
Mm-hmm.
Mitsuki's on whatever.
Yeah.
He's on.
You know what? I don't want there to be any presumptions.
Right.
But let's just say.
Smoke big green, call it Bruce Banner.
What? Okay, sure. I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Smoke big green, call it Bruce Banner.
Where's that from?
Well,
Is it from the one album that you know? Mitsuki has been waiting for this episode for years.
since the very beginning.
Since the very beginning.
Since 9 years. It's
I'm
9
gonna-
years in the making.
I'm going to let him have this day. This
Thank
is
you.
his day.
Thank you for that.
Of course, on today's episode, or before we get to today's episode, you can find us anytime on our website, AAAPodcast.com. You can go to AAAPodcast.com/join to create an account and sign up for all of our additional episodes. We
Yes.
have hundreds
Literally, there's probably almost 500 of them.
hundreds of hours of content,
Mhm.
hentai episodes, hobby addicts,
Yep.
after parties, just a whole bunch of stuff for your listening pleasure.
Kazuo just nerded out for an hour about Avengers Infinity War.
That's right. And we got deep nerd. I'm going back in the 90s talking about comic books
He went DP style.
that came out before some of you were even born.
Yeah, he
All
went
right.
deep.
I went deep.
He did.
All right. So of course you can find us there. You can get all our additional episodes. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/groups/AAAPodcast.
Guess what?
What's that?
You don't need that anymore.
Well, I mean, you could still go there.
You can go, but there is now a Discord button on the top bar of the website.
This is true. Yes, for all of those who have asked me, Kazuo, how do I find the Discord? I don't know where it is, even though you tell us every single week at the beginning and the end of the show.
I know you were so excited to announce
It's
that.
okay, Mitzi. You don't have to blame me. I'm not angry.
Okay.
In fact, I am delighted to say that you don't have to do any of that. Just go to the website. It's at the very top. You'll see a button for Discord, so you don't have to ask me. All right? You can leave me alone.
And then you want to know how to find the button to the Discord.
Oh my
Ask
God, I
Yes.
don't even.
Where's the button? Kazuo, where's
will-
the button?
I will find
Kazuo,
you.
how do I find the button to
Kazuo,
Discord?
how do I turn on my computer and get to the internet? Oh my God.
Okay, actually, can you help me with that?
Have you checked if it's plugged in? All right, don't ask me.
All right,
Don't ask me these questions.
All right, one more time, Kazuo. Where's the button for the Discord?
It is at the top of the website, the AAAPodcast.com website.
And you know what's directly to the right of that button?
My balls.
Mm.
Damn.
No, is that not it?
No,
Oh.
that wasn't what I was thinking.
Okay. What's directly to the right of that?
Well, I was thinking that the button to the, you know what, this is too good to pass up.
Mitsuki, I want to take my balls out and lube up your head.
Directly to the right of that button is the join the become an anime addict.
Look at that,
Join the AAA.
We're murdering 2 birds with 1
Yes.
bullet or something.
Yes.
Is that how that saying goes?
Close.
Close. You
Okay.
got it.
Well, either way, you can go to the website at the very top. You can join the Discord and join the podcast. You can get all the extra content.
That's right.
All right, so on today's episode, we've got a lot going on. We've got some impressions. We're going to be continuing our impressions for the spring of 2018.
That's right.
Spring? Yeah, spring. So we're going to be continuing that. We've got a few shows on the docket. We've got Piano no Mori, Captain Tsubasa, a little up-and-coming show called Legend of the Galactic Heroes that you may have heard of, Persona 5, the animation, and Magical Girl Ore.
Yeah.
We will also be doing our main topic, which is a little fun one. It is the 12-step program to make your anime addiction worse, suggested by listener RepentandReprise. So shout out to him or her.
That's right.
For
Thank you.
requesting that topic. We'll be going over it today. Should be fun.
It's probably a man.
Yeah,
85% of our listeners are male.
that's true.
Statistically,
And
that's been proven.
85% of our hosts are also.
That was actually proven twice.
Actually, no, it's 75%. 75% of our hosts.
We've actually had a lot of female hosts throughout the years.
That's true.
At least half.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Every female that watches anime has been a host on our podcast. No, that's not true.
Yeah, in the whole world.
Yes.
We're the
All
only
3 of
ones in
them.
the entire world that watch anime. Yes.
All right, so before we get into all of that, it's time for the big news of the week.
大ニュースです It's time for big news of the week.
Do we have a caller yet for Does Mitsuki's mom know?
Good question.
We're going to need that.
Yes, we do.
Okay, good, because we're going
And
to need
he's
that.
ready for us.
All right, has he been instructed on all the crazy things he has to do to make our audio work? I just assume,
Oh yeah.
I'll just assume yes.
Okay.
The Japan's child population shrinks to 15.5 million, setting another record low. Yet again. Great job. Great job, Kazuo. Because
Don't put this all on me.
well, it's your fault because if you had just pulled it out and used it while you
true.
were in Japan, this would probably be at least another million. They probably have at least 16 million kids instead of 15,
You're right.
and then they would be above the record low.
With great power comes great responsibility.
And of course, your offspring is going to be much more likely to have offspring of their own because you know you're about as virile as they get, right?
Yeah.
So
sure.
like, merely looking at a woman
Right.
can make her impregnated.
It is.
and
That's,
so, like-
well, that's why we don't have Mandy in the room.
Well, it's for safety. It's a safety precaution.
It's a safety precaution.
But you know,
Is that why I'm not there?
yeah, no, it's dangerous. You have to
It
stay
is.
within a 60-foot radius.
your
At all
womb,
times.
your womb will be infiltrated by his thoughts.
Oh.
By
Thank
his
you.
thoughts.
Yes, what I will say is that having an additional million children in Japan that have that ability, Kazuo,
Yes.
that you are guaranteed to create additional children,
Okay.
but you failed them.
Yeah, you're right. Well, you know what? I'll be back. I'll be back, Japan.
And so the number of children in Japan fell for this is unbelievable, for the 37th consecutive year. 37.
Jeez.
How is this possible?
I mean,
You know, if that's a trend right there. They say 3 is a trend.
Yeah.
37? Oh my god.
37 is a trend.
Holy shit. So this is despite Prime Minister Abe doing all kinds of shit to try to make people have kids, which includes beefing up support for child rearing by increasing daycare facilities and empowering, like making women feel more empowered in the workplace to like have them be able to have kids. They even gave people time off specifically during work. Like during this hour and this hour, you can go home to have sex. Like what country does that happen in? Nowhere.
Sounds
Can we
great.
please? Sounds amazing.
Is Japan still suffering from pretty bad sexual education, like in school?
Don't know.
I mean,
Oh, okay. I was curious.
I can't say anything officially, but I feel like they really don't have any sexual education in school.
You know what the scary thing is?
Yeah.
What's that?
So the most populated age group of children in Japan is at the age where they're about to transition out of counting as children.
Yeah.
So the most populous age group for the children is ages 12 to 14, and I think that's about where it ends, where they can start to consider
Like
people
teenagers and
as
stuff.
teenagers / adults.
Yeah.
So this is just going to continue. Like you're guaranteed to have this happen again.
Yeah.
Abe has been trying to boost the fertility rate. He wants to boost it by 1.8%, by a rate of 1.8 by the end of fiscal year 2025.
You know what else they could do?
What's
That
that?
would help is make immigration easier.
Well, I don't know how that's ever gonna happen.
I mean, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, immigrating to Japan is not hard. It's just not a comfortable place for foreigners to live.
right. I guess that's more what I mean by it, is like make it more comfortable for foreigners to get there and live there. Like kind of open up your borders a bit more so that way you can get that influx of immigrants and
Well,
population boost that way.
but they have a lot of people. Japan's got like the
Yeah.
it's got like the 10, it's like in the
Well,
top
I mean,
20
they're-
of population in the world.
They're not going to for long if it
Well,
continues to trend this
I
way.
mean, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
like they have all the people they need to have babies.
they just not have
It's a cultural problem.
Yeah. That's why you got to fly in some Latinos.
Yes.
What's up? Get my people in there. They'll help you out.
Mm-hmm.
They're all over the place. They're blasting them out left and right.
That's right.
Yeah.
No mi mates. That's the only thing I know how to say.
I know.
I know how to say lots of swear words now. So there were 15.5 million Japanese and other children in the nation on April 1st, which is down from 170,000 the same from a year earlier. Oh my God! A child is defined as anybody 14 years or younger. So the ratio of children to overall population dipped to a record low of 12.3 to Japan's current lowest record, which is I don't have that written here. Oh, the new low is 12.3 now, which outpaces Germany at 13.2 and South Korea at 13.1. The prefectures where they are having sex is Okinawa, which is number 1, which is barely even part of Japan because it's like 1,000 miles out in the ocean. Shiga, which I don't even know where that is, and Saga. And the prefectures where literally no one is having sex are Aomori, which is the northern tip of the main island of Japan. It's basically
Russia.
It's pretty cold up there.
Yeah.
It's basically like it's the northernmost city on the main island, so it's practically Hokkaido.
Yeah.
And then of course Hokkaido is on that list also, and Akita, which I don't know, I'm not sure where Akita is, but maybe there's something to do with people being very cold and not wanting to have sex, not wanting to have babies.
Wouldn't you want to have sex if you're cold?
Well, that's not what I've.
Wouldn't that warm you up? Okay.
It might warm you
I
up.
forgot. We're not in a hentai episode. Never mind.
There have been studies that show that cold and
Yeah.
and lovemaking don't really correlate.
The whole wearing socks
okay.
thing.
The whole wearing socks thing, yeah,
Yeah.
and girls don't like to be cold, and it's etc. No one likes to be cold.
We'll get into that in a hentai episode, though.
Yeah. So, Cosmo, what are we gonna do about this?
I mean, I feel like it's a cultural issue. They have to change the culture, which is not it's easier said than done. I mean, especially for a culture that's been around for a couple thousand years.
I have the solution. And Mandy, I think we need to bring Cosmo into our blood pact that we made last week.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because there's more information about what we discussed last week, and it's down below the next section. If you could scroll down a bit more, there you go, the blue part. Studio Ghibli, their theme park that they're making, it has a lot of images now for it already, and you can now view images from the
nice.
theme park. So Cosmo, last week, Mandy,
We made a blood pact.
and
yes.
Enzo and I made a blood pact.
Okay.
That in 2022, we will do a Japan trip to go to Nagoya to visit the Studio Ghibli theme park
Okay.
together.
All right.
And maybe bring listeners with us, probably,
Okay.
if we're still podcasting in 2022. Which,
Gotcha.
which by the way will put us at like almost 700 episodes, which
If
is
we're still
unbelievable.
podcasting in 2022. Oh my God.
So, are you in?
And
on
if I
the,
red rides there,
Are you in
I'm
on the
gonna
blood
puke.
pact?
I'm in.
Yeah, we have to make this official.
I mean, I don't know if you want my blood though. God knows what's in there.
Well, I mean, I'm taking it. All right, so here we're gonna bite our thumbs.
Oh, we're gonna do.
Let's do this
No,
on
I'm
camera.
not gonna actually bite.
You don't have to really do it. You're ruining it.
We're gonna do the.
He's not in. He doesn't want to come.
Come on, you gotta learn how to act.
We're gonna do the Naruto thing where they like
Yeah,
bite
so
their
ready?
thumb and then
all right,
right across.
all right, we're biting. Ready?
Yep, got it.
Press
All right,
thumbs
there
together.
we go. Yep,
Boom.
All right.
All right, he did it. Sound
We're in.
drop. Here we go. Where's the drop? What drops did I play last time for that? I played the children screaming. And I don't know. This
I
one.
only like certain types of meat in my mouth.
What we should have
Okay,
done is
it's done.
gotten like a scroll, opened it up, and then like bit our thumb and then run it across the scroll, and then
Oh, that would have been
and
awesome.
then like a frog comes out or something.
That would have been
That would
awesome.
have been sick.
So yeah, there's images. I actually want to talk about this real quick. So some of the landscapes.
These are pretty too.
Yeah, the conceptual designs for some of the areas of the park have been created, which looks like a giant dome is built over the top of it. Like it almost looks like it's built in a football stadium
It's
or
like
something.
biodome.
Yeah. So They have environments that resemble. I don't know what the hell that first one's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But they definitely have environments that are resembling. One of them, if you scroll down, is the village, the village from Princess Mononoke,
Yeah.
where the movie begins. So it's Ashitaka's village. Then they have a
This is so sick.
to further enhance the park's natural surroundings, a new walking path through the forest will be designated and named the Donko Forest Area. The name is in reference to the movie My Neighbor Totoro, in a film which featured a house currently standing in the forest built for the 2005 World Expo. So there's like all this stuff. And then if you scroll down even further, there's Howl's Moving Castle and Kiki's Delivery Service landscapes. And, oh my God, it's just...
Yeah.
Oh, I see teacup rides.
It doesn't seem too big, though, just based off of this one image that they have.
Yeah.
Like a overview.
Is it confirmed to be all indoors?
Well, I mean,
I still definitely want to go see
I
it.
doubt
It's
it
gonna
will
be
be...
hot.
I doubt it's going to all be indoors because a lot of the Studio Ghibli
Yeah.
environments are very nature-based, and I doubt Miyazaki would want it to be so fake feeling.
Right.
But, it takes a lot of time and money to build a theme park. And I doubt they could make a theme park like what we're thinking, like a Cedar Point or a Disney World, in just 4 years.
What's
Like
a Cedar Point?
Cedar Point, it's like the roller coaster capital of the world. It's in Ohio.
Oh.
Mandy should know what that is very well.
Yep, I've been there once.
Yeah, they've got like 14 giant roller coasters. It's incredible.
Well, I'll tell you what. I just got an annual pass to Disney World.
Mhm.
Ooh.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So now I need people to go with, so I don't look like a creepy
was gonna
30-year-old in
say.
Disney World.
Yeah, you went once.
I'm not a huge fan of Disney World, but
So if any of our listeners find themselves in the Orlando area and want to go to Disney World, let me know.
all right. So it sounds like that. It sounds like our blood pact is continuing, although
Yes.
Kazuo didn't seem like he was sure about it.
No, I definitely want to go to see this for sure. I can't wait till our next trip.
So I asked Mandy and I asked Enzo last week what the attractions they would like to see most are. So I'm gonna
Just
ask you the
in
same
all
question.
of Japan.
No, from Ghibli in the theme
Oh.
park. Like you can have anything you want. So like we said, the cat bus ride was one of them,
Okay.
and I said like skipping on the rooftops with Howl.
I want a Nausicaa, like
We said that one.
what?
Well, I think Enzo's
Let
was
me finish. What I was
I
gonna
think
say.
Enzo did.
Enzo was Nausicaa like airplane battle simulation or something.
Yeah, maybe not an airplane battle simulation, but like, okay, check this. It's like a VR thing, where you get into like a room and you're like on a glider and you're just flying over, like, and they could do it like where you're going through the different Ghibli movies and you're just kind of like flying over and seeing all the cool stuff, like in a VR thing. That'd be cool.
I could see that.
Yeah, that might be neat. God, there's so much stuff they could do. You know, I don't know. I just want to see all of it. Sounds awesome. An underwater Ponyo adventure.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
I mean, they don't have to do much like, in terms of rides. Just walking through the environment is enough.
Or how about this? Speaking of Ponyo, how about a racing simulator where you're just in the passenger seat of his mother's of that girl's
Of
mother's
his
You're
mother's
guaranteed-
oh,
Mandy,
man,
you're-
it's
car.
Mandy, you're
terrifying.
guaranteed to throw up.
and you're just like, whoa,
I-
and you're like up on two wheels.
I will puke all over.
Okay.
That's a great idea.
All right, so that is happening. You want to move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
Prepare for trouble!
Make it double.
Shut up! You haven't had one useful thing to say since you got here.
And by the way, what ties the first story we did and then the Ghibli theme park story
Yeah,
is that you will be in Japan again.
it's true.
At least then, I mean, I want to do Tokyo Olympics. Maybe you'll pass on that. I don't know, but at least if we do that, you'll have another opportunity to
Right.
help
I've
out Japan.
I've already said 2021 is the year of the Hafu because of the 2020 Olympics. All those athletes are going to get up in there, and then they're going to get up in there.
If that's
You know what
happening,
I'm
by the
saying?
way, we need to start booking rooms.
That's true.
So I looked into it, and you can book them already. So, Princess Principal, which is an anime that we did a review on, is getting 6 movies. A 6-part sequel movie.
6 movies, that's a lot.
Oh, I remember this show.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
the
all
one-
right.
Yeah, so 6 sequel movies were announced for the Princess Principal TV anime that will take place after the events of the final episode of the TV series.
Was it that popular?
Well, I thought the anime was pretty mediocre, honestly, but I'm guessing it must have been because you wouldn't make 6 movies if it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, it was all right. It was basically like, for those that don't remember, it's basically like Gunslinger Girl almost in a way. Like there's these, young girls that are like, like spies and assassins and stuff. So it was.
I haven't watched this yet.
It was all right.
so.
It wasn't. It didn't blow my hair back or anything.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's worth watching.
Yeah. I mean,
It's-
it's only 12 episodes.
There's
so-
not much story.
But it's
and
impressive if you get 6 movies. That's a
Yeah,
lot of
I don't
movies.
know how that even happened. It's not even that popular. Like, I'm just looking at my anime list right now. It's got 92,000 members. Like, that's not. I mean, granted, of course.
Maybe it's just bigger in Japan.
Maybe maybe it's big in Japan, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, that's crazy. So
Interesting.
yeah, but this anime property had other content as well. There was a puzzle game that came out on iOS and Android. Called Princess Principal Game of Mission, which came out last August.
Wow, that's a great name.
Yeah.
The Princess Principal Game of Mission.
Oh, Noble.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's Japan. Oh my god.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's basically a spy-centered anime. The story overall revolves around 5 girls that are in a school in London that teach things like disguising and infiltration and car chases, and they go around and they do like little missions, and they're
assassinate
spies
people,
basically,
yeah.
and it's not as cohesive as Gunslinger Girl to me,
No.
and not as savage. Like Gunslinger Girl's a lot more like mature.
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I was just saying, is that my phone?
No,
that's
that
your
would be our tablet bitching at me.
Oh, about to die.
Uh-oh.
Probably,
usual.
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
But no, it was. I meant to compare it to Gunslinger Girl in the way that it's just young girls like that are like assassins and stuff. That's about it though.
Yeah, so it's I'm shocked by this. I don't think I will be watching it. I don't know.
All right.
Wonder how long they are, the movies.
Well, well, probably between an hour and an hour and a half. I would guess.
Yeah.
You know, but it isn't like having many movies for a show is uncommon. There's like 37 Doraemon movies. There's like 40 Detective Conan movies.
And also, I'm not entirely sure why they do this, but like some shows, instead of getting a sequel series, just get a series of movies, like Digimon Adventure Try. I remember at one point they were gonna just create a new series, and then they were like, "Oh no, we're just gonna do like 6 movies or something." But each movie is essentially 3 episodes. So I don't know why they do it that way. I'm sure there's sure there's some reason, but
Yeah.
I just don't know myself.
Anyway, yeah, they're banking on the movie ticket sales. So,
Gotcha.
all right. So, shall we attempt? Does Mitsuki's mom know?
Let's do it.
Yeah,
are
let him
we,
know.
Is this gonna? Do we have a listener who is prepared?
Yep, his name is I think he's pronounced Nepriton. I
Okay.
don't know.
Well, I'm gonna play.
But he is ready.
I'm gonna play the drop. Here we go. It's time for Does Mitsuki's Mom Know? The game show that pits Mitsuki's unassuming mother against anime's most basic questions. Now here are your hosts, the Anime Addicts. All right, do we have a lovely man or a madam on the line?
Hello.
Hi, how are you? Welcome.
Good, and you?
Oh, I'm doing well. So where are you joining us from?
I'm from UK.
Oh, from the UK? Okay.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Where from?
Where in the UK are you
Sorry?
located?
South Dorchester.
Dorchester. Okay.
Cool. Well, welcome to Does Mitsuki's Mom Know? I know you know the rules. It's a simple game. It's about whether or not my mother knows the answers to some of the simplest questions I could possibly think of to ask her. Most of them are Studio Ghibli themed, again, because she has recently watched most of the Studio Ghibli movies, so I wanted to try to make it easy for her. And if you can guess 3 out of 5 correct whether or not she knows the answer to these questions, you will win a prize that is, I promise, beyond anything you could possibly imagine.
Yeah. Now again, to keep in mind, you're not trying to find the answer to the question, but rather whether or not Mitsuki's mom knows
That's
the
right.
answer. So.
So I'm going to give you a sample question, and then we're going to jump right into our real questions. So are you ready?
Yep.
All right, well, here we go. Good luck to you. Which of these are not human anime characters? Oh, I didn't want to play that one. Let's do this one. In the Ghibli movie Ponyo starts out as what animal? There we go. We've had the other sample way too many times.
Okay.
All right, so that's your sample.
So, do you think that Mitsuki's mom knows the answer to this question, or not?
I think she knows.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's find out, and let's see.
In the Ghibli movie Ponyo starts out as what animal?
A fish, a goldfish.
Oh, good job.
All right. Well, that would be correct.
Yay.
So well done, sir. Now, the responses to these are a little longer than usual. I found them funny, so I kept them. Just for comedic intent.
Right.
So we'll see. But you must get 3 out of 5 correct. Are you prepared to face the gauntlet that the prior, 3 callers have failed?
Something like that.
So we're on a losing streak, and we really need a win. We need good vibes. So, are you up to the challenge?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. All right. Here comes your first question.
What color is Porco Rosso's airplane?
Porco Rosso being one of Ghibli's most well-known movies.
Yes.
Yes, and your mom watched a lot of Ghibli movies, so she should know.
She should. You might think so.
Is that your final answer?
I feel like there's
the
been
problem.
Yeah.
The problem is that you never know with her.
Yeah, that's true.
I agree. There have been some questions that I've asked her that are unbelievably simple that she has failed to answer. Like, what I asked her what the main character from Princess Mononoke was, and she had no idea. Like, how could you not know? But what do you think on this question? Porco Rosso's plane. Is she gonna know it, or is she gonna not know it?
I will stay with my first guess. She know.
All right, locking you in. Here we go. Let's do this.
What's red?
It's a big red.
Big red.
Yeah.
Something.
The big red.
Big red rocket.
Really?
Jeez.
You only asked me what color.
No, that's a dog's penis.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
Your poor mother.
Well, I'm telling you, Roko and I broke her long ago.
Oh my god.
There's nothing else to take from that poor woman.
And if you ever met Mitsuki's mom, like, she is just the sweetest
Yeah.
little lady.
She is.
She has these 2 sons that are just evil.
Eh. All right. Well done, sir. You're now 1 for 1. You only have to get 2 out of the next 4 correct, which is 50-50. So now you have even.
I really don't know if I should be happy or sad for your mother.
Well,
I mean,
it's all in good fun.
Yeah.
All right. So you ready for the next question?
Yeah.
All right. All of our hopes and dreams lay on your shoulders. Here we go.
In what decade was the Lupin the Third anime originally created?
In what decade was Lupin originally created? Ooh, that's a good question.
Ooh, it is a good one.
wonder if
I'm
we all
not
know
even
this.
sure about that. I mean, I am not sure, so she don't know.
You don't think she knows?
No, I think it will be a little hard.
Do we all want to guess? Because I feel like I don't even know. I want to say the first
90s?
Lupin. No, I want to say it's definitely before that. I would say
A year
I would say the
80 something,
70s,
so
Right?
I would say
60s?
the 70s.
I'm
Late
not,
60s.
but it will be.
Well, you have
but
you have said that she won't know the answer, correct? And by the way,
yes,
how do we
she
pronounce
doesn't
your
know.
name?
Oh, in short, just Nepri.
Nepri.
Okay.
So I'm
Yeah.
locking you in. She does not know the
okay.
answer, correct?
Yep.
All right. Well, here we go. Let's find out.
In what decade was the Lupin the Third anime originally created?
Yeah, I'd say the 80s.
Nope.
Oh.
I think it came out in 1971.
Yes.
So
Oh, close
knew it.
though.
Yes.
Okay. Nepri's 2 for 2.
Nepri got it right, and so did I. 'Cause
Now you feel like you're special
well, because I guessed the 70s.
because you know an answer to one of anime's most basic questions.
That's not one of the most basic.
It's pretty basic.
I mean,
You had it was either the 70s or the 80s.
it's true.
Pretty much. I mean, right? Okay. All right. Well, Nepri, you're doing fantastic. I really hope you can keep this up because I think we did have a person go 0 for 3 on the last 3
Yeah,
before, and
he's
that was sad.
2 for 2. You've only got to get 1 out of the next
Yes,
3.
I keeping my 4 flower clover in my hand, so it should give me a lot of luck.
Oh, okay.
I say we get this man a bucket of water because he is on fire right now.
Oh, I'm so hot.
All right.
All right.
All
Next
right.
one. Here
Well
we go.
done.
All right. Here we go. If you get this next question right, I'm taking my shirt off because
please
you
don't.
will be on fire.
Don't do
That's
that.
happening.
Give me a second. I will do it too.
Oh, see, this is done now. Are you gonna do it with us? Are you gonna do it with us,
Hell
Cosmo?
no.
Okay, Cosmo. Then I will do it with you. Are you ready for the next question? Nepri?
Okay.
You ready?
I'm shiftless right now, so I'm ready.
He already took his shirt off.
Oh, he's awfully confident.
He's confident.
You better get this right.
What is the name of the hospital in which the mother is being cared for in My Neighbor Totoro?
She have to know that. She probably watched that like 5 times.
Actually, I think I've seen My Neighbor Totoro like at least 100 times. No shit.
Wow, really?
She knows.
I have every single word of that movie memorized.
Wow, that's impressive.
Wow.
I'm not even kidding.
I've only seen it a couple times, like, a long time ago. I have to rewatch that.
All right, so you say she knows the name of the hospital, correct?
Yep.
All right, locking you in, and here come the drops, or the answer.
What is the name of the hospital in which the mother is being cared for in My Neighbor Totoro?
Tokyo Mercy. No, I don't know.
Tokyo Mercy?
I don't know.
What?
They weren't in Tokyo. I don't know.
Shichi Kokoyama Hospital.
Oh, of course, I should know that.
So close.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right.
Put your shirt back on, Nepri. That was a little premature.
No.
So you've got 2 more questions. You just have to get one of them right.
That's right. So you're still doing well. You're all right. You're on pace. Are you ready for the 4th question?
I will keep my nipple in my hands. It will give me my luck.
Hilarious. Wow. Okay, that's awesome. All right, here we go.
On what an inanimate object is Goku often seen riding around on?
And that's one of these hard questions.
As to whether she knows it, yeah.
So the question was, what object does Goku ride around on? We all know it's a cloud, right?
The flying nimbus.
The flying nimbus. Yeah.
Yeah.
But does she know that?
But yeah,
Okay.
you just never know with her.
Okay, I need a help.
You can have you may ask a host. I think Kazuo usually likes to do this because he feels like he's always correct, but you know.
I am always correct.
Yeah, I only have to ask Kazuo and answer opposite to him. So Kazuo, what is your answer?
An answer opposite.
Oh, he's gonna go against you.
All right.
He's talking some
see how it
shit.
is. You know, somebody else tried this once and they failed miserably.
Oh.
I'm going to say.
Now, are you going to give him the opposite of what you really think to guide him to the correct answer, or are you going to give what you really think?
I'm going to give what I really think.
And now it's mind game.
I think she knows the answer to this one.
Okay, she doesn't know.
He really is going to guess.
You know what? We'll see.
This is hilarious.
Let's see.
All right, so Kazuo, you said she knew.
Yes.
And Nepri says she does not know.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, here we go. We are going to find out right now.
On what an inanimate object is Goku often seen riding around on?
An inanimate object?
An inanimate object.
Then how could he ride around on it?
Because it's a fantasy show.
Oh, okay.
It's
She
not
got
real. He's like always riding on it.
A rock.
A rock.
He's always riding on it?
Yeah.
Like,
He rides on a cloud.
Okay.
Now the question is, you got it right, of course. But the question is,
Yeah.
Oh, that's the wrong drop.
did I
Sorry,
lead him
but-
down that path?
Did you or not?
Because I
To
knew
tell
he
you
would guess
true.
the
Now,
opposite.
Kazuo, you can't. I asked you before,
Uh-huh.
and you were like, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna do what I really think." So you can't backpedal on it.
What if I was double crossing? What if
I think you should be a man and just admit you got it wrong.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Kazuo, I just read your mind and I knew that
Did you?
you wanted to say that she know.
It's possible.
Nepri, you have won a fantastic prize beyond your wildest imagination. I will contact you on our Discord to find out what you would like to receive. And thank you so much for playing.
Okay.
And most importantly, rub your nips and thank you for breaking the losing streak.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
Way to go.
I knew that it will help. I knew.
Yes.
He did.
Thanks.
He caught it.
You did.
It's the nipples of power.
That's it. You got to be confident, like Netflix.
Yeah.
That's right.
I
think you're excited.
I still
Feel these
keeping them in
nipples.
my fingers.
All right. Awesome.
All right. Thank you, Nepri. Thank you for playing.
Thanks.
All right, Kazuo, I'm going to play a game with you
Okay.
because we have one more drop.
All right. What's up?
I'm going to see if you can get the last question right.
All right.
And we're going to find out how much you really know.
Okay. How much I know your mother?
We're going to put you on the spot.
All right. Let's go.
All right, here we go, Kazuo.
Oh,
Ready? Are you ready for your question?
Do I have to answer the question?
Oh, yeah. We're going to find out if you really know what you're talking about or if you're just full of hot air.
Oh, well, that's okay.
All right, here we go.
Let's go.
In the Ghibli film Howl's Moving Castle, what kind of products does Sophie's shop sell?
Oh my God, I haven't.
I know this one.
All right, so it's a
seen
hat.
this since I was a kid.
What? Movie came out in like 2000, like 2009 or something. It's a hat shop.
2009.
It's a hat shop.
It's a hat shop.
Way to give me the answer. You didn't even let me guess.
No, you're gonna guess if she knows it.
Oh, I thought you said I had to answer the question.
No, you have to guess if my mother knows it.
All right. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say she does not know it.
Okay. Am I locking you in?
I think she would.
Yep.
All right, Mandy says she knows. All right, here we go.
Shoot, I just watched this too.
I know. That's
damn.
why I thought you'd know.
I can't think. Is it something edible?
No.
Oh, okay. What does she sell? She sells fire.
Who the hell sells fire?
I mean, little chunks of kindling.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's a hat shop.
She's thinking of calcifer.
Oh, that's right.
All right.
I got it right.
I guess you really are clairvoyant.
I know. I'm just saying.
Okay, well that was fun. Thank you so much to Nepri for playing and also having a tremendous sense of humor. That was good fun. I appreciated
and
that.
a lovely accent.
That's as well. Yes, I'm sure all the ladies are like just rolling in their chairs.
I know I am.
I figured as much.
I love that your mom was like, "How could she write it? How can you write it if it's inanimate?" I love that.
I'm gonna be
That's
honest.
My favorite.
Yeah.
If she can miss that question about the flying Nimbus, she can miss any question. I can't imagine asking a simpler question than what does Goku ride on? That's about as easy as it gets. Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, that is.
That is literally like you have no knowledge at all of Dragon Ball, which is almost impossible.
I mean,
I would say almost everybody on the planet knows the answer.
She's a loose cannon, man. It's hard to know with her.
Yeah.
She can hit you with a curveball at any moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she could go up to the plate and bunt, or she can
let me help you out
knock
here.
one out of the park.
Let me help you out here. Let's go to trivia. Real quick.
Sports analogies. I mean, I tried.
Anytime Kazuo talks about sports, it's worth playing in a drop. All right, so I see you've been studying your baseball a lot since you're wearing a Yankees hat.
It's true. You know, I got to represent the home team. 27 rings, going for 28.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about baseball.
You proved that a moment ago. Okay, so help us out with some trivia.
All right, so before we go on our news break, we've got our trivia on the website. Of course, you can head over to AAAPodcast.com to take part in the trivia. You just go there, scroll down, answer the question. This week's answer was Asakusa Sennoji Dera. Who the hell? What is that?
Sensoji Dera. It's the Asakusa Temple.
Oh.
It's like probably the most famous temple in Tokyo.
All right, well, there you go. And do you have the correct answers, or are there too many to count?
I don't know. You know what? All right, I'll read them. Good
Okay.
Lord.
Right.
I wasn't going to, but I will.
All right, well, yeah,
There aren't that many correct answers anyway, because these are harder trivia than we usually have. So, all right, the correct answers were, this computer is like so slow for a computer that's supposed to be fast. It's killing me. Correct answers were Icy Rose, Chibi Rob, Full Metal Alcoholist, Manly Mudkip, Robo Totoro, Golden Jedi Link, Kenko 31, Cherry Face, Brains the Trash Panda, Karate, Kurt Dog 01, Fire Nipples.
Oh, Fire Nipples.
That's like your favorite thing.
I
apparently.
know. I love inappropriate names. Okay, the winner of the week is Cherry Face.
Nice job. I like that.
Yay!
And the next theme is going to be areas of Tokyo.
It's the same theme.
Yep, same theme. So
the new trivia is up, by the way, if you want to go play it.
yes, so head over to the website, check that out. Now, again, we are going to take a news break. However, we have an in-show weekly trivia question,
That's right.
which we'll answer after the break, and that is, how many rest stations are there on the top of Mount Fuji?
Well, it should be on the way up. Sorry, I might have
On the way
misread.
up. I'm sorry. Yeah,
On the way up, there are rest stations. How many are there?
How many? We will answer that right after the break.
Stay tuned. Hey everybody, this is Mitsuki, and it's time for your anime news break. Leading us off today, we have a follow-up on a news story that we had a couple weeks ago about an announcement of Devilman Crybaby. We thought that maybe there would be a new season coming of the anime. Well, this mysterious announcement was cleared up recently, but it is not a new anime series or even a movie. Instead, it was an onslaught of events. Now, I know this is pretty disappointing for probably everybody, considering I imagine no one cares about a car or even most of this merchandise. and we all wanted an anime, but I will say that the car looks pretty cool, and the car originally retailed for $89,000 when it was released previously, but now this Devilman Crybaby edition of the vehicle, they don't have a price for it, but I imagine it's probably even more expensive than before. So if you're a fan of cars, you might want to check it out online. Otherwise, I'm guessing you don't really care, so move on about your business. Next up, Kieran is in trouble. Kieran is the latest company or organization to be hit with sexist claims as being girls that wanted to be idols, and they look very cute. And however, on the images of the girls, apparently there are depictions and descriptions of their clothing or about that would identify which states in the United States were the geekiest based on internet search results and polls given to people living in those states. And it looks like the top geekiest states are a little unassuming. The geekiest state in the United States is New Hampshire, followed by its neighbor Vermont, and its other neighbor Maine, followed by Alaska and Montana. So apparently, if you're living up in the far north part of New England, you are nerdier than anybody else. Other states that are notable include North Dakota, Rhode Island, Washington, Wyoming, and Idaho. So, well, looks like most of the states that are the geekiest have not very many people living in them, because those are very low populated states, but you know, what can you do? Next up, something fun. The Philadelphia 76ers NBA basketball all-star center Joel Embiid was seen watching Dragon Ball before a playoff game recently while he was getting a massage. And it's just funny to see a famous athlete that's in the spotlight watching anime, particularly Dragon Ball, on his iPhone as a way to relax before game time. Now, this was Mitsuki, and this was your anime news break. Now, time to get back to the podcast.
Now that we're getting to our main podcast topic, I just so happen to have found this perfect...
Let me guess, another list?
Well, kinda. Not just any list, though. The greatest list to ever grace the internet.
Go on.
It's J-List, baby.
Did somebody say J-List?
That's right, my little Peruvian Pocky box.
What is...
Exactly. You like boxes, right?
I don't even...
Bingo! Everybody loves boxes. You know why people love boxes?
I don't know.
Great point, Enzo. Because boxes have things in them, and J-List boxes have tasty things in them.
What kind of...
I agree, Enzo. A wise man once said, life is like a J-List snack box. You never know what you're going to get, except you do. Snacks from Japan.
Hold on, are you telling me that...
If you go to jlist.com, you can sign up for the monthly snack box and get all kinds of delicious treats from the land of the rising sun.
Oh, man, I better...
Go, Enzo. Go now. Don't wait. Don't speak. Go to jlist.com and make your sweet candy dreams come true. You're welcome.
Story time with Chiaki.
I was on a train in Korea once with one of my friends, and I get an itch in my nose, and I kind of, rub my nose or whatever, and then I sneeze, and blood just goes everywhere, and we're in between stops, and I'm holding my hands over my nose, and there's just blood dripping from my hands.
What the hell?
It's like one of the worst nosebleeds I've ever had.
Shouldn't pick your nose so hard.
And then it's like when we get to the stop and we run out to the bathroom, and I run in the bathroom, and there's blood all over me, and all of the girls in the bathroom flee, and I open up my hand, and it's like a pool of blood in the sink. And
that story wasn't funny at all.
It was awful.
Nobody will ever want to ride next to Chiaki on the train again.
I always have a good story somewhere in me.
Back to the show.
Smooth jazz, WLOQ. Bringing us back into the sultry sounds of the AAA.
That's right. Welcome back.
Ooh.
Welcome back to the 420th episode, the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast.
Ooh, getting smooth.
All right. Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. So we had a little news break there. Before we went on the break, we asked an in-show weekly trivia question, as we often do. And this one was, how many rest stations are there on the way up Mount Fuji?
So there's 10 of them.
There are 10.
There are 10? There are 4 below the tree line.
Hmm.
See, when I climbed Mount Fuji, I was a badass, and I said, I'm climbing this beast from the bottom. Because all these wussy asses, they take a bus halfway up, and then they walk. they take the bus to where the tree line ends, and then they
I'd
walk
be
it.
one of these people.
I feel like I've already climbed Mount Fuji, even though I haven't. Just because we went up that one mountain where the temples were.
Oh,
And,
wow.
And I know it's nowhere near the same, but I felt like I was about to die.
Mount Fuji is not a hard climb. It does take a while. It's not a hard climb, but I will say that the bottom is the best part because you're in this like serene forest and it's just awesome.
What was the one that we went up? What do you remember? Where you got lost and ended up
Fushimi
feeding,
Inari?
Yeah, Fushimi Inari.
Fushimi Inari?
You ended up like feeding stray cats or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We ended up in a baseball field.
I did. It was awesome.
The saddest part about that climb was, so we got like, 3/4 of the way up and I'm just dying and I'm like, holy crap, this is hard. And like my legs are on fire. And then like as we start to get towards the top, I just see like a little old lady and a baby just just stroll past us at like a brisk pace. And I'm like, what the hell?
Well, that'll happen because when we were climbing Mount Fuji, we had just spent the night at like the 7th station because Chiaki was wiped out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I could have kept going.
Oh, yes.
But,
I'll meet you there in the morning.
Well, this was when I was still like peak fitness, like crazy level.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely would have been fine. But like, the point being is that somewhere between like the 7th and 8th station, it's in the middle of the night. There's an old woman. She's like 80, and she's like, "Yeah, I do this every year." And she's like
ridiculous.
old as hell, like really old.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are 6 stations above the tree line and 4 stations below the tree line, and the last station, the 10th station, is at the summit.
Okay, awesome.
Mount Fuji.
I've learned
it's not a hard
today
climb.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's not a hard climb, but it will take you about 12 hours or so to climb it, and it takes about 3 hours to descend.
3 hours to descend?
Yeah.
What if you're wearing Heelys?
What does that mean?
Heelys.
Oh shit! Yes.
What if are you familiar with Heelys?
It has to be like a perfect incline, though.
You would be killed.
You just roll down the whole way.
You just roll down the whole way.
It gets pretty cold, even though you can only climb Mount Fuji in I think January, July, and August. It gets very cold at the top. It's below freezing at the top.
Right.
And some guy was climbing in like one of those white like thong underwear things that you see like samurai dudes wearing. You know, like old. You know what I'm talking about? He had one of those on like a stick, and he was just destroying that crap. He was literally like sprinting up it.
Good lord.
He wasn't even on the trail with other people because he didn't want to be slowed down. He was literally like running up debris and shit. And naked.
I would just be
naked in the cold.
I'd be like, hey man, you don't have to be doing this. You can go home.
I mean, that guy, he might have been training for something.
That's like, so my neighbors are always out on their like balcony or on their front porch, like at all times. And I'm like, you realize, there's an inside. You can go inside. It's nice. It's air conditioned.
They're probably ripping tons of bongs out there, and then I want the inside of their house to
You have
smell
a
bad.
couch and a television. You don't have to do this.
Big green comet whose banner?
But anyways, all right. Well, that was an interesting factoid. Now we're gonna get into our main topic for the day.
Yeah.
Which is it's a bit of a fun topic. It was suggested by Repent and Reprise, one of our listeners, which is awesome. So we really appreciate it when you guys give us cool topics to go over. This one's gonna be a bit of a funny one. It is the 12-step program to make your anime addiction worse. Of course, this is the Anime Addicts Anonymous
version.
So we have come up with a 12-step program. I feel like it's in no particular order. I feel like you can kind of. I mean,
we should do them in order.
Yeah, we'll do them in order for sure.
Because I made mine kind of escalate as they went.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well,
we got kind of crazy with it.
Yeah, so you can go through these. You just have to make sure that you accomplish all 12 before you can truly be addicted to anime.
That's right.
So all right, so who wants to start off? Mandy?
I'm kind of. But before we start, I encourage all the listeners at home to count on your fingers how many of these you've done.
Ooh, okay.
And you will know how far along in the process you are.
Yes.
Now Cosmo's excited.
I'm ready.
And I think maybe we should count as well, just amongst ourselves, and we'll tell you at the end how many we've done.
I will.
Go ahead, Mandy. Why don't you start?
Hopefully we all did this first one.
Yeah.
Step number 1. Tune into your first anime podcast.
No, never
It's
heard
this
of
one, of course. Never listened to one in my life.
No, anime podcasts are terrible. I would never listen to one of those.
Because I think that like you can casually enjoy anime.
Yes.
But if you're like so obsessed with it that you have to listen to people talk about anime instead of actually watching it like while you're at work for fun, then you're pretty hardcore.
There's definitely a gap to be bridged there between casually enjoying something and enjoying it to a level where you just want to hear people talk about it.
Where you can't even be apart from it at work because you're going to have withdrawal and probably die.
Right.
You're going to have like DDTs and have a seizure on your office floor. In order to prevent that, you have an anime podcast.
I wonder, though, if there are people that listen to our podcast that don't even really like anime, but they just like our podcast.
That might be.
That's possible. All right. Well, that's number 1. So, and Enzo is currently in the Google Doc typing stuff.
I told him to go away.
Why is he here? Why is he on the Google Doc and not podcasting with us?
Because
right?
Good question. All right, so number 1, tune into your first anime podcast. That is, I feel like, a good step 1 to get you involved. Step 2. Mitz, do you want to tackle step 2?
I currently have peanut butter in my mouth.
All right, so I'll tackle step 2. Step 2 is you make being an anime fan your only non-negotiable trait on Tinder or Bumble. So that is
non-negotiable.
That is a true anime addict.
Guy like anime, or you're out of here.
I'll tell you that
we don't want you.
The current lovely woman that I am associated with that I met on Tinder, her picture was an anime picture.
Oh.
And I was like, you know, I have to swipe right to this girl.
Of course.
And I was like, she's probably not gonna be like, you know, I'm probably not gonna find her, you know, attractive, or I won't be into her or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I mean, if they don't put their picture up, I just assume.
Oh, she didn't even have a picture up?
Nope, it was just a picture of. It was a picture from Evangelion or something. And I was very pleased to find that she was very attractive.
That is high risk right there.
Yeah.
Way to go.
A very attractive girl.
She is attractive for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got lucky.
I mean,
well, Enzo says he loves us.
Oh, how nice. Not enough to be.
That's me. I wrote that.
Oh.
Never mind that.
Enzo, yo quiero.
Enzo doesn't love us.
Yo quiero besos.
I love how you say that in like a funny voice.
So.
All right.
I do the third one.
Okay.
And well, this was yours. Maybe you should read it.
I know, that's why I wanted you to read the last one.
Oh, okay.
But oh well, that's fine. You can read this one. Go ahead.
Admit to yourself that your favorite anime is trash, but so are you. So it all balances out.
Yes. I feel like that we've all been there, where you watch a show and you're like, man, I love this show, and then later on you're like, show's kind of trash, but I still love it.
That's definitely happened.
But I still love it.
I used to love Love Hina.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that there was a day where I loved Love Hina?
Oh my God. Wow.
And now I'm like, I cannot get through an episode of Love Hina if you literally strap me to a chair and pried my eyeballs open. I would literally bite my tongue off and die before I watch a full episode of Love Hina.
God. That's
I'm
rough.
serious.
But yeah, we've all been through that though. We all have some dark skeletons in our closet.
You know what would probably make Love Hina better?
What's that? Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, that might help.
No, it for sure does.
So Enzo in the chat says that he loves how Mitz speaks Spanish, but in Japanese. Like you speak Spanish with a Japanese accent.
I've been speaking Japanese for so long, I can't help it.
That's hilarious. So, yeah.
Why is he listening, but he's not here?
I don't know.
I thought you were supposed to be hanging out with your mother, Enzo.
Maybe his mom's listening too.
Aww.
Well,
in which case, hi Enzo's mom.
The
Hi,
family
Enzo's mom.
event.
How's it going?
Hi, Enzo's mom.
You come here often? So
why don't you make your way down to Florida and I'll show you a good time.
I see you've got a little Peruvian in you. Would you like to have a little Puerto Rican in you too?
A little Italian too.
Yeah.
I'll give you an Italian sausage.
Oh.
You can stick it between your buns.
Oh, that's his mom.
Well.
You took
all
it
right.
too far.
So number 4, I always do.
Number
all right,
4,
number 4.
Mandy.
Are you guys keeping track of how many of these apply to you?
Yeah.
Oh.
So far, the only one I have not done is putting the anime stuff on my Tinder. Although I do have pictures of like me in Japan and stuff.
Or Bumble, so.
You've never tuned into an anime podcast? Liar.
What?
I've done number 1.
Who said that?
You did. You said the only one you've done is the second one.
The only one I haven't done.
Oh, you haven't done. Okay. All right, number 4.
All right, number 4. You bite the bullet and buy your first $300 plus Blu-ray box set. It's probably Gundam or something.
I haven't bought a $300 box
Neither
set.
have I.
I bought like
I think
$100 box sets and stuff.
Yeah, same. I think the most I've spent is 100.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those box sets are like $600.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
It's completely
I'm
insane.
I'm not rolling in it like that.
Well,
this
yeah, I mean,
this
you
podcast
gotta...
doesn't pay that well.
Well, you know, you're not rolling in it to buy crystal meth either, but if you're an addict, you'll find a way.
Yeah. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, you will do something bad to get that money.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, you can pay with cash or you can pay with
ass.
Your body. Yeah, your ass. Oh my lord.
You can pay with cash or you can pay with ass.
Oh my god. All right.
All right, next up, Mitz.
You forsake all real life music in exchange for anime OSTs. When you play the OST on YouTube at work, you'll open a blank tab in the browser so as to conceal what you're actually watching. Which comes directly.
Just use your phone.
Yeah, right. Just use your phone, dude. That's what I do.
Well.
Yeah, just pull it up on my phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, like really, most.
But I've
of
never
the music,
forsaken all music though.
I will say most of the music I have is like from anime. Like
Really?
most of it's like opening and ending.
You see,
things.
this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is why I messes with Kazuo.
That's why I messes with Kazuo.
Because he's gradually forsaking all real music in exchange for just anime music.
I will say it's problematic because when you're out with people that like when you're out with civilians, non-anime addicts,
When you're out with the normies.
And they're like
you start playing flyers.
Yeah, exactly. Or they're like talking about some band and I'm like, I have no idea who that is. I've never who.
It's weird, but I've become so detached from the music world that like I can't think of a topic less interesting to me right now than music. Like I just don't care.
Well,
at all.
By modern music, you mean?
Modern music. I'll talk about
Yeah,
like
you'll talk
classical
about-
if you want,
yeah.
but like if you're talking about some like
Did you listen to the latest
some
Justin
house
Bieber album?
music shit or something, I'm like okay, you can have fun talking about house music and listening to it, but I do not talk to me about that. I do not care.
Now, if you've got some good opening and ending theme songs from anime, send them my way.
That's right.
Because I'm all about that life.
Okay, so what are we on now?
All right.
6?
Number 6. Number 6 is.
Wait a second. I got this.
Oh, do you have like a drop for?
Dude, we
Oh,
have
this
a
is a
drop.
long
We have a drop
one.
for everything.
Number 6.
Oh my god, that's adorable. Did she actually go through each like
Oh,
the top
you
10?
just had to find out.
All right, so number 6 is you tell yourself you have a budget when you enter the first anime figure shop you see in Akiba. However, you'll get lost in its multi-floor greatness, and before you know it, you succumb to its wiles. Soon you will forget your budget and leave with a suitcase load of figures and an empty bank account. Don't worry, you'll have to carry the figures around the rest of the day as a guilty reminder of your anime addiction.
Yeah.
I mean,
Shang.
I feel like we've all been there. I went to Japan with the intention of not. I'm like, I don't buy souvenirs. Like I don't have collectible. I'm a minimalist. My apartment's pretty like, barren and stuff. And then sure enough, I leave with like a suitcase full of like figures and stuff. And now I have this bookshelf just full of figures.
I bought
and I feel like such a,
2. I bought 2 there.
Oh my
that
God.
was 2 more than I thought I was going to buy.
I bought many. I mean, not there are definitely some of us.
And it was all Enzo's fault. I was gonna buy one. He's like, "You should get both." I'm like, I should get both. He's like, "Yeah, why not? You're never gonna see him again." I'm like, "Shit, I should get both."
So
It's not his fault.
So we had a guy on our Japan trip who is the only man that is not on our Discord that was on the trip,
Right.
or person. And everybody else is a moderator or something.
I have it on good authority that he drowned in a pile of anime figures and is no longer with us.
Oh no.
Yeah, so he has dropped off the map, right? But I think he bought like 25 figures that day.
Dude, he literally had like a garbage bag full of
He
figures.
did, and he had to get him checked at customs when we were coming back.
Insane.
They had to like
Unbelievable.
search his bag.
All right, what's up next? We got number 7.
I'll
Mandy.
read
All
it.
right,
Oh no.
this
wait.
is mine.
Okay, here, wait a second.
Number 7.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay, this one's mine. Choose between Pokemon, Digimon, or Yu-Gi-Oh! Now refuse the existence of the other 2. Or ascend to true greatness, watch Monster Rancher instead.
That's right. I was transported to a
To a
faraway
faraway
land.
land, to a world where monsters grow.
I love this one. So choose between Pokemon, Digimon, or Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, because everybody
have
only
to-
chooses one. They hate the others.
You have to. You have to choose one. It's you know what? I will say it is hard to choose though. Like I do have love
It
for all
is.
3.
I've watched all of them, yeah.
Yeah. But I got to go with Pokemon.
Same.
Yeah. Like
Mhm.
I do love Digimon as well, but it's just not the same. Yu-Gi-Oh!
It's not.
I don't really care about Yu-Gi-Oh! I've seen Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, like outside of like Joey, I don't really care about Yu-Gi-Oh!
Dude, watching that on Twitch when they were replaying it on Twitch was fantastic. It was so much fun.
Now, if we want to talk about the Holy Grail here,
Oh,
if you want to talk about an anime to ascend all
Classic.
other anime, I mean something that puts Ghibli to shame.
Oh,
you're talking about Monster Rancher.
Mhm.
Well, there it is.
So
I agree with this. Yeah.
yes, in
really
Monster Rancher,
fascinating.
an anime based on a video game that isn't even really a video game until the anime came out.
So wait,
then it
wait.
became a video game based
This
on
means
an
that
anime.
you have an isekai that you love.
Damn, you're right.
Damn.
Damn. Monster
Things
Rancher is an
got
isekai. Well, what did I say about step 3? Or step 4? No, step 3. Admit to yourself that your favorite anime is trash, but so are you.
Is that like Street Fighter the movie, the game?
No, because Monster Rancher wasn't based on a game to begin with. It was an anime first, and then it became a game about an anime about a game.
Thank God they did not make a Street Fighter movie about the game that was about the movie that was about the game.
Amazing.
Is that what my head would explode? That movie was so terrible. Oh God. Okay. What number are we on?
Number 8.
Okay.
Number 8.
Oh, I'm up. Okay. Get tired of seeing real girls naked? Look up animated big boobs instead. You'll soon give up finding this unicorn girl, and you'll instead forsake 3D flesh for 2D boobs.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of dark.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not wrong though.
Yeah, this has happened to me maybe at 50% level.
Yeah, I feel like there's a balance.
There are some hentai that are so good that I'm like, I will watch this instead of the alternative. But I wouldn't say I've forsaken your 3D girls. No, that's a little much.
This is one of those where you have to have balance. This is you don't want to go too far.
Mandy's like,
Mandy
speak
doesn't
for
care at
yourself.
all.
I love those flat 3D boy those flat 2D boy butts.
Those flat boy butts, man.
They're flat, but they're plump.
There's a lot of boys with real flat butts in anime. It makes me so sad.
Yeah.
Well, in order to have a nice butt, you normally have to like have a muscular body. You know,
Or
like
fat.
like
both.
I don't know if girls want a fat butt or if they want like
That's
a nice
why
sculpted butt.
No,
I'm
just saying in
Victor's the only one.
Victor's not the only one. What's the homeboy's name from that show?
Gene Starwind has a nice butt. He's naked in the first episode of All Star.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Mm.
All right. Well,
and actually, MD and I'm sorry. There is also another butt that I think you should probably be aware of.
What's that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's another butt. And
What is it?
I had a drop and it's gone.
It's gone.
That's so awful. I ruined it.
That's disappointing. Most disappointing.
Yeah, you're on to me.
I know.
Wow.
It was empty.
Cannot believe that didn't make it onto my soundboard.
It's sad.
Yeah, he has the most dangerous butt.
He really does.
He does.
All right, let's see what do we got here. Step 9. You must
Number 9.
You must stop at every gashapon machine that you come across once in Japan. Even if you haven't seen the show, you must put all of your coins into those machines and get every figure that is available.
I put this one on because of our trip.
This is absolutely. I have so many gachapons now. Like, and some of them are from shows
We
I
were
haven't
stopping
seen.
at all of them on our way. We're like, we're never gonna see one of these ever again.
Some of the ones I have
all the way down
aren't
the
even.
street.
They're not even from shows. Like I have one that is, it's like a little figure of a cat sitting on a rice cooker.
Me too. I have the white one. I have it sitting on my desk.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. Your tablet.
It wasn't me.
My tablet is attacking.
Oh no.
Do you have other tabs open?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
What
No.
the hell was that?
I have no idea.
We're possessed.
I have no idea. Tablet went rogue at 1:04. Okay.
That is so weird.
I freaking hate this tablet. All right.
Yeah, you definitely need a new one.
You need a new one.
Okay.
Okay. Keep going.
All right. Well, next up is I think is it Mandy's turn?
What number?
Yeah,
are we?
I'll go.
What number are we on?
Number 10.
10.
Number
Find yourself a waifu or
10.
husbando. When she claimed them, that insists that everyone else's waifu or husbando is shit and they have shit taste.
Oh, you got to defend your husbandal.
That's true. And your waifu.
My waifu's behind me right here.
Oh,
She's always with me.
Feel.
I'm gonna give her a little kiss.
Oh boy, that's creepy.
Someday she'll be real.
If you if you had one waifu, it would be Lafille.
Oh yeah,
from Crest of the Stars.
She's amazing.
Mandy, if you had one waifu or husbando, who would it be?
I don't know. I was thinking about this.
You gotta
That's a
pick
good
one.
question. Shit, just one.
It's tough.
You can only have one boy butt.
I can only have one butt.
One boy butt for the rest of your life. You gotta commit.
Oh, damn.
How disastrous.
The first one that comes to my mind is Bulma.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel like Bulma is legit.
I still like Shizuo. I started with Shizuo. I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah.
Maybe she's sticking to her guns.
Bulma's one. She's hot. 2, she's a good mom. All right, but she's
Aw.
also spicy. You know.
She is hot. That's a good
and
one.
She's super smart.
Yeah, Bulma's pretty good.
Bulma's awesome. Now Chi-Chi can get out of here.
Not as good as LaFille though. Bulma's shit.
Okay.
Only LaFille.
Okay. First off, we're following the step.
Oh yeah.
Everybody else's waifu is shit.
Bulma bunny figures are real cute too.
True. Now the creepy part is that at the beginning of Dragon Ball, she was supposed to be like 15 or something like that, and it's like.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, but by anime standards, she was like a full-on adult in that season.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, and then Goku was supposed to be like 13 or 14, but he looks like a baby.
There's some perverted stuff going on in the original Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
okay.
for
We're on number 11.
Number
now?
11.
Okay.
Number 11.
Watch every single show that is currently airing. Otherwise, you fall behind and look like a casual scrub when you don't know what that obscure show that everyone else is talking about.
This is all of us.
Not me.
You know what I just realized? And Nefri said it in the chat. He said Kazuo looking at the Bulma figurine butt. Like, I just realized Bulma's right there.
It is nice.
That's hilarious.
It is. It's a pretty nice ass for for an anime figure.
Yeah.
She has a nicer ass than Goku.
I mean, that's true.
You wouldn't expect it because Goku like does nothing in his life but work out.
Goku like squats planets.
Yeah, basically. He
But-
crushes planets in his butt cheeks like a nutcracker.
Yeah, but still, no buns.
Nah.
Yep.
It's true.
All right, so watch every single show that's airing.
Mm-hmm.
That is, yeah. No, you're absolutely right on that one.
We fall behind. You skip those shows.
How else are you supposed to maintain?
Yeah.
I don't watch them all.
But you gotta watch them all.
Mm.
Gotta watch them all.
Gotta watch them all.
I guess. I mean, I don't have time for that shit. Who the
Yeah.
hell has time to watch every anime?
I mean, not. There's definitely some that we don't watch, like the ones that are like for little kids or something. Or
I'm just telling you right now, if you're watching all 40 anime that come out every season, you either have no job or you have no other hobbies.
That's a dream. I wish I had.
Or
no
that's
job.
all that you're watching.
Or that's all that you're watching. Yeah.
Yeah.
Currently, I will say I have fallen behind.
I'm gonna say that if you watch all 40 anime and have no job,
Yes.
and you say that's a dream, I'm saying you're probably doing damage to your psyche.
My
I mean, you're totally isolated from the rest of
My
humanity.
psyche's wrecked as it is. Forget
Well,
it. I give up.
It's a trash heap then.
It's
it can't be saved.
It's a garbage fire.
Dumpster fire.
Yeah, same difference.
It's okay, you tried.
It's a flaming bag of poop on somebody's doorstep. That's my psyche.
Don't put it out with your boots, Ted.
Yeah, I you know what though? I definitely do have we all have that addictive personality where we will literally
I do.
where we'll watch hundreds of hours of content. Like
I do.
Like the past 2 or 3 weeks I've been watching that Critical Role thing and I'm already on like episode 45, which means
Holy shit.
Yeah, which means it's literally all I have consumed.
That is insane. Man, you went through that so fast.
Yes, each episode is like 3 or 4 hours. It's literally all I consume.
Nobody
Until I'm
knows.
done with it, and then I'm on to the next thing.
I like to crush up Moe girls into like a line of
Yeah.
a white powder and snort them.
Okay.
That really gets me off. Like I hit the moon when I do that.
Oh. Okay.
That shit is tight.
All right. Well, thank you for that complete non sequitur.
You're welcome.
All right, so we got one left here.
Number 12?
Number 12.
Number 12.
Number 12 is have at least 200 shows on your plan to watch list. Don't worry. It's a plan to watch. That means you'll never actually get to them.
Yep.
See, now here's the thing. I don't have anything on my plan to watch list. Because I'm obsessive compulsive and I'm a minimalist. And so I have to have nothing on my plan to watch and only what I'm actually watching on my watch list. And if I drop a show, I just delete it completely. I have no drop shows on there because I don't want any record of anything being halfway done.
Which is clearly something that translates to your video game playing.
I guess, yeah. I don't.
Well, we just finished having a conversation
Yeah.
about how you have only finished like 5 video games.
Yes, I never finished any video game.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
I was gonna try to get him to watch Divinity
or play Divinity
to play Divinity 2.
Oh, you can play with us. Yes.
Except he says he plays the game for like 3 hours and he quits. So I'm like, well, Divinity's not for you.
Well, we won't let you quit.
Because it's too.
You'll have us.
Because that's going to be like a 100 to 200 hour adventure.
Just like I didn't quit Final Fantasy.
You all quit. I was playing that game way longer than any of the 3 of you did.
We'll get back to it eventually.
In fact, you all quit. Then I unlocked Dark Knight and took it to level 50.
Oh.
And you guys were nowhere to be
Nice.
found. You abandoned me.
Now, can we play
Complete abandonment.
Divinity? Is this something I can play on PC, or do I have to?
You can, but it's long. But you're gonna have to sink 100 hours minimum.
I'll play it.
Yeah.
Enzo and I played together once.
No. I am not falling into that trap again.
Come on, man.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's spend $100 and get this game and transfer servers and this and that.
Play
and,
with us.
Yeah. And then everyone ghosts on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're just not. You have an incredibly addictive personality.
I do.
And I have a very not. I don't know what I have. I have something. And now you have
Damn,
it too,
I
because
see.
we did a blood
I
dive.
see Rose said, and you all quit Monster Hunter. It was so true.
Yes,
We
but
did
I
all
was not the
drop
one.
Monster Hunter.
That's true, but I was not the one telling everyone on Earth to buy Monster Hunter. I was the one. I was told to buy Monster Hunter. A little different.
Look, life is short, and so is my attention span.
Okay.
All right.
Well, then maybe we should do number 13, which Enzo entered in here.
Oh,
while
did
we
he?
were, yeah.
He added a bonus step.
All right, so I'm gonna play that drop.
Number 13.
Okay, for Enzo.
You want to go ahead?
Okay, he's not here to read his own step. Bonus step by Enzo.
Say it in your best Enzo impersonation.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man. That's awfully hard.
Yeah,
I haven't heard his voice enough.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know how he would.
You haven't burned his voice into your mind.
I feel like he just, I don't know. Sounds like me.
The Cleveland Steamer.
Oh, there he is. That's the voice.
Oh, Mitz. I looked outside today and I saw construction work. And I was like, oh, sorry, Mitz.
That's it. No.
Diagnose my fetish, Kazuo.
Oh, so watch and get it going to your first hentai, baby.
Watch and get it going to your first.
I'm so hungry.
No,
Kazuo, will you buy me a pizza? Buy me a pizza.
You also have to promise something that you're never gonna follow through on.
D&D. We're gonna play D&D.
Guys, why don't we all just fly to Vegas and we can totally. I'm gonna buy a car and then I'm gonna go to Mars and host a D&D game.
Go to Mars.
I don't know. I'm making ridiculous promises that he'll never follow through on.
I'm so hungry.
Should I play D&D on
buy me
Mars?
a pizza.
Buy me a pizza.
It'd be
Oh my
wild.
God. All right, so how many of these have you guys done? And then we gotta get out of here. We got impressions.
You know
first.
what? I didn't count.
Okay.
All right. I've done.
One. Let's see.
Didn't do that. That's 2. I did not.
Oh, boy.
Do.
Okay.
I'm gonna say. I have only not done 3 of them.
You've done all but 3?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't have 200 shows on my plan to watch. I have not put anime stuff on my Tinder profile, and I haven't bought a $300 Blu-ray box set. Everything else.
I have done 6. So half.
I think I've only done like 3 or 4. So.
Man,
Yeah.
You guys are casuals.
I guess
Man,
so.
we're casual scrubs. Damn.
All right, so that's going to bring us to the end of our main topic today, guys.
That's right.
We are
Welcome
gonna take
to the anime not addicts.
the anime casual observers. So we are going to take another news break. Before we do, though, we have another in-show weekly trivia. Whoa, jeez, that's loud.
Sorry.
We've got an in-show weekly trivia question, which is, in what Japanese city is Studio Ghibli located?
That's right.
And we will answer that right after the break. So we'll see you guys in a minute.
Hey everybody, this is Mitsuki. I'm back, and it's time for more anime news. Getting us started this time, NHK has announced that it will air more episodes for the Oshiri Tante anime series this summer. Oshiri Tante translating to butt detective. That's right, I said butt as in the butt that's on your butt. The new episodes will premiere on the NHK on July 14th and will air every Saturday until August 25th. The series is it was a net animation that's about a detective whose head looks like a butt, and his assistant, who is a dog named Brown, who's also anthropomorphic. And I don't know anything about the show, but I guess they go around and solve crimes. The anime project began streaming as a series of web animation shorts in May 2017. So if you're interested in this, I think that you should check it out. It definitely looks like it's made for kids. I imagine kids chuckle and laugh when they see a character whose head is a butt, which is pretty funny. Which reminds me of the Oshiri Kajiri Mushi anime, which was about the butt-biting bugs, and that was also quite popular. So maybe we'll hear about more of this in the future. Next up, there is a live-action version of In This Corner of the World coming out, and it looks like big news is spreading that Joe Hisaishi, the composer of virtually all of the music for the Studio Ghibli movies, is going to be doing the music for the In This Corner of the World movie, which probably raises the film to another level of prestige. It looks like Nobuhiro Doi is directing the series, and Yoshikazu Otada is writing the script. So if you're interested in This Corner of the World, you're going to have some unbelievable music to go with it. So look forward to that live-action movie coming out in the future. Next up, we have some video game news. The Video Game Hall of Fame, which is the National Museum of Play in Rochester, New York, announced its 2018 inductees to the Hall of Fame, which includes Space War, which came out in 1962, and I've never heard of it. John Madden Football, which came out in 1990. Tomb Raider, which came out in 1996. And Final Fantasy VII, which came out in 1997. So if you are a fan of video games, it's probably worth checking out the Video Game Hall of Fame. Other finalists included Asteroids, Call of Duty, Dance Dance Revolution, Half-Life, King's Quest, Metroid, Minecraft, and Ms. Pac-Man, but I guess perhaps these did not make it this time around, maybe next time. And it's interesting, though, to see a Video Game Hall of Fame, and I wonder what other games are in there. Next up, some sad news. Nozomi Entertainment's license for Maria Watches Over Us is expiring. They confirmed recently that they are going to be losing their license, and they are currently selling through all of their final stock of the first 4 seasons of the anime for about $12 per season. The description of the anime from Nozomi Entertainment is as such. When Yumi Fukuzawa entered the Lillian Girls Academy, a prestigious all-girls Catholic school in Tokyo, she never imagined she would catch the eye of beautiful and demure Sachiko Ogasawara, one of the school's most popular students. Now Sachiko has offered to be Yumi's Sawyer, her sister, a guide for all her years at the academy. The whole idea has Yumi completely flustered. After all, they hardly know each other. I'm pretty sure this is a Yuri-type anime, but also a very prestigious one, and has a lot of people quite sad that the license is expiring. So if you're a fan of this show, you might want to grab some of these seasons for $12 a pop, because that's pretty cheap. This was Mitsuki, and this was your anime news break. Now, time to get back to the podcast.
After Parties Hobby Addicts Hentai episodes. After Parties Hobby Addicts Hentai episodes. After Parties Hobby Addicts Hentai episodes.
What in the world are you two doing? I'm trying to sleep here. It's midnight.
We're using Mandy's arcane power to do a content prayer dance.
Yeah, we're hoping the content gods bless us with thrilling entertainment for the fans.
Content prayer dance. You know, there's a much easier way to make better content. How about starting with studying our vast archive of additional content on AAAPodcast.com?
Oh, I already have. I mean, it's only $7 a month for almost 8 additional episodes every month.
That's less than $1 per extra episode and super easy to get to. Just gotta type AAPodcast.com/join to become a member.
You went through the whole archive? It's hundreds of hours.
Well, Senpai, anything is possible.
If you believe.
I think I'll just leave you two alone.
Hey, is he gone yet?
Yeah, ready?
Yeah. After Parties Hobby Addicts Hentai episodes. After Parties Hobby Addicts Hentai episodes.
Dangerous, most dangerous. Dangerous, most dangerous.
Oh, hello.
Welcome back to the 420th episode of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast.
Hello. Did we lose? Are we down to Kazuo?
We lost him. He's back.
Oh, okay, there you are.
I have returned. I have returned with a glorious purpose.
That's right.
Oh yeah? What's that?
To make your anime addiction worse.
Duh.
Apparently not, because we suck at having addictions.
It's true. I like this music though, Mitz.
Of course you do.
What's the guy's name again?
Hironobu Kageyama.
Yeah, that's my dude. Man, that's good.
It's really good. It has no business being in such a bad anime.
All right, so before we went on our news break, we asked another in-show weekly trivia question, and that was, in what Japanese city is Studio Ghibli located?
It's in Mitaka.
Mitaka.
Which is on the western outskirts of Tokyo.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Now, is that where we went to the Studio Ghibli Museum?
Correct.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. That was
I think that's also the town where Miyazaki's house is. Which
Oh,
I should
cool.
probably, next time I'm in Mitaka, I should probably look up where his house is and just go look at it.
Just go look at his
And
house.
I'll stake his house out and just wait for Miyazaki to come out.
You just see him taking out the trash, yelling at kids.
Well, I mean, think about it. If you find where Miyazaki's house is and he's in the area, he's probably gonna come to or leave his house within a day.
That's they call that stalking.
They call it a stakeout.
Stakeout? Are you a cop
I'm not
now?
gonna accost the man. I might go up to him and give him a pack of cherry brand cigarettes and kneel before him and weep like a small child in reverence of the one true god of anime that is Hayao Miyazaki.
Nope, he will not find that creepy at all.
No.
Completely
No, he
normal.
won't. He'll probably kick me.
I hear he loves people, and
Yeah.
he loves human interaction. Big fan.
Do you think he comes out, throws kids off his lawn? Get off my lawn, kids.
100%. Yes.
I actually don't think Miyazaki's the way that we portray him to be.
Just a grumpy old man that hates everybody.
Because in the documentary, there's videos of him helping disabled people in his neighborhood and stuff like that. I really don't think he's the monster we portray him to be.
No, he's not a monster.
I just think that,
no.
I mean,
I just think he's a grumpy old man.
The comments of the
He's
last...
just an old man. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's fine. He's a good people, man. He does all those nature documentaries.
He's just very direct,
called
like
Ghibli movies.
Like when you make a CG, when you make an artificial intelligence that's supposed to make animated characters, and they crawl around like they have no joints and stuff, and it looks horrific.
Yes.
And Miyazaki says this is an insult to life itself. He means what he says. He's just telling you how he really feels.
Or when he said anime was a mistake.
You know how you know that thing where people don't properly communicate and they kind of assume the other person knows what they want you to say or do. Like where girls want you to read their mind.
Oh.
Or when people don't really say the way they feel, so you might think something's okay, but in reality they're really having their feelings hurt. You'll never have to worry about that with Miyazaki.
No, he'll tell you.
He will tell you straight up that you are a disgrace to life itself. And therefore
All right.
Just how he feels.
He's just doing you a favor.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, moving along from that, we have our 5-star review, which here, let me go ahead and switch this over. There we go.
You want me to do it?
Sure. So, oh, hold on. There we go. Mitsuki's playing the drop.
It's time for iTunes review.
Fantastic. Of course, you can head over to iTunes, leave us a 5-star review. We will read it on the show just like Tuzo1889 did. So, Mandy, you want to go ahead and read that?
He or she says, so far, so good. So many hours of content. This is going to be fun. Likeable hosts. They do tend to spoil, but since I watch most of the series, I don't mind.
Why is your
My tablet just died.
It just died. That tablet is a disaster.
It really is.
You definitely need to get a different tablet. Why is it always dead?
I don't know. I plug it in and then it decides to charge. And then I plug it in again and it doesn't charge.
Oh.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't have the answer.
It's a complete disaster. Well, anyways, thank you so much, Tuzo, for that 5-star review. We really appreciate it. And sorry for spoiling stuff. We try not to, but it's hard sometimes. Some shows it's just like...
Yeah.
I'm not sorry.
I know you.
I never know when a series is too old to be spoiled or not.
Look, I mean, we play a spoiler drop. If you sit there and listen right all the way through the spoilers that we say are coming, then that's your fault. All right, so, and that's me being direct, just like Miyazaki.
Well, that's one word for it.
Well, there's no other way to put it. If I literally say to you, we are about to spoil things, and you don't care, and you just listen to it anyway, you have no right to complain about spoilers. Am I right or wrong?
I mean,
that's the point of a spoiler drop.
Yes.
So, all right, I'll go first since now I'm feeling angry. I'm gonna do.
It's so easy to make you angry. I love it. Literally nothing will make you angry. It's so funny to me.
If I tell you, that,
here we go.
If I tell you that in 20 minutes, if I tell you in 20 minutes that it will rain, and you're outside and you do not bring an umbrella, and then it rains,
Correct.
that is your fault. Correct or not?
That is true.
Exactly. Thank you. Moving on. So I'm going to now do an impression on an anime called Piano no Mori, which is a property done by Gainax. I guess it's Gainax technically. 12-episode anime that is a remaking of a movie that came out some time ago. I think around, 10 years ago or so, I believe. The Piano no Mori movie came out in. That is the manga. So I love when my anime list doesn't actually tell you if it's what you're clicking on. Let's see. The movie came out in 2007, so it's 11 years old. So it's the story of a boy named Kai and another boy whose name is Shuhei. And these two boys both play the piano. And Shuhei is the son of a famous pianist. And he's one of those like kids that's been subjected to his parents' desires since birth, and he's like his life is nothing but play.
They're breeding him to play piano.
Yeah, basically. Like when you go on YouTube and you see like videos of like a 4-year-old girl playing like a Chopin concerto, and you're like, oh great, you have had no life whatsoever except playing piano since the minute you were born.
Yeah,
that is Shuhei.
Yes,
right?
He wears like gloves to protect his fingers and stuff.
He wears gloves to protect his hands and all this crap. And so but he's really gifted and good at the piano. Of course, you would have to be if you did nothing but play it since the day we were born. So, and then there's Kai, who is another boy who likes the piano, but he plays this piano that's in this forest, which is why it's called Piano in the Forest. Basically, is the name of the anime. And he plays this piano. It's this concert grand piano that 100% would never be in a forest because that piano is probably worth about $60,000. And it's definitely not going to be in a forest being rained on.
Yeah, and also would never work because it's in a forest being rained on.
Funny you should say that. Because only Shuhei can play this piano.
Yes.
Literally. It's not like he's the only one that's allowed to play it or he's the only one that knows where it is. Kai brings Shuhei with him, and Kai sits down and he starts playing this amazing piece. It's some Chopin piece. And Shuhei's really impressed with him, and he's like, wow, you're really good. Yeah. I didn't know I could make a friend or whatever that could also play piano. This is awesome. Then Kai sits down to play it, or Shuhei sits down to play the piano too, and Shuhei goes down and he presses on the keys and no sound comes out.
Yep.
At all. The piano, as you said, is destroyed.
Yeah.
As you would expect. And no sound comes out, however, and then Kai's like, oh, what? Well, let me show you again. And then he sits down and Kai's able to play it. So for some reason, Kai can play this piano. Shuhei It's very mysterious. And we don't know why. And
it's all a dream.
The piano is located on the outskirts of the forest right by Kai's house. He lives with his mother, who is very young and attractive. And unfortunately, she's a prostitute.
Right.
They're very poor, and she's a prostitute. So she's doing what she can to raise her kid, basically. And so it's a very musical story. So the teacher at their school his name is Ajino, and he's also a famous ex-pianist.
Yeah, wasn't he in like a car accident or something?
Yeah, he hurts himself and can't play properly anymore, and so he retires and he becomes a music teacher. Well, he hears about this piano in the forest and he gets curious about it. So he goes out to look for this piano, and while he's in the forest, he sees Kai playing it. And not only is he playing the piano, he's playing one of the pieces that he himself used to play. And he's playing it the exact way that he played it.
Yes.
And these are piano geniuses, so they can literally tell that this is almost a carbon copy recording of them playing, right? Which I don't think ordinary people can't do that. I don't even know.
Yeah, he can tell if it's a single note off or something like that, or.
Yeah, and he's not only that, he can tell that it's his exact style. It's as if he's listening to a recording of himself playing, but he's watching Kai play. Right down to the gestures and stuff that he does when he's playing, which, I mean, real pianists don't gesture very much, but, and then he looks closer and he sees on the side of the piano, it says S. Ajino. It's literally Ajino's piano from
the teacher's piano.
The teacher's piano from years past. And it's very so he can't believe it. And Ajino walks up to the piano And he grabs Kai's hand and he's like, "What is going on here? Like, this is crazy. How are you able to do this?"
What if the show is about the teacher and that accident that he got into put him into a coma? And so this is all some weird dream that he's having.
The whole thing is a dream.
It's all him finding his love for music while in a coma.
Could be.
I don't know.
So where it goes from there is that Ajino wants to teach Kai music, and Kai and Shuhei want to have a competition because there's a competition coming up, like a piano competition where everybody plays the same piece, and whoever plays the piece the best goes to nationals or whatever and competes. So it's a piano competition. We saw it in Your Lie in April also.
Yeah.
And Ajino wants to teach Kai because he's like, "You are the chosen one. Like, this is."
You are the chosen
I think he uses those words. Like, the kid is playing a piano that no one else can play, and he's playing a piece that because Kai cannot play any other piano.
Yeah, he saw his teacher play it once or something, and then he can immediately imitate it.
Yeah, exactly. And Kai can't play any other piano. Like, he went to Shuhei's house and was going to play Shuhei's piano, and he's just like slamming on the keys and sounds like horrible. And Shuhei's mother comes in and she's like, "What in God's name is going on?" And because he can't play any other piano except this mysterious piano in the forest. But clearly he has talent, and he's like mysteriously gifted or empowered or something, and so the teacher wants to teach him piano. So there's like a fantasy element or a supernatural element to this show. And so
interesting.
The teacher is going to teach Kai how to play the piano so he can perform in the competition. And Shuhei and him have come to an agreement that they're both going to take it very seriously. And so where the third episode leaves off is essentially with the competition beginning, and up to the third episode, Shuhei has played his piece. It's like a Chopin something. He played it perfectly. And now we're waiting for in the fourth episode, I presume that Kai will play as well. And then we'll see where the story goes from there. But like this anime is interesting because it's not like any anime I've seen ever. It's not like Your Lie in April where it's obviously a romance, like right from the beginning, and Your Lie in April projects itself pretty heavily. Like, you pretty much know what's going to happen, and so you're almost like watching a train wreck in Your Lie in April.
Yeah.
But this anime has some similar elements. Like, there's like the performance element, and they're playing Chopin music again, which is like, Japan must be obsessed with Chopin. I'm obsessed with Chopin.
Yes.
Chopin is my number one choice for classical music, but this anime is so different because it has these very interesting story elements. Like, for example, why can Kai play this piano and no one else can play it? Why is Kai able to play the pieces his teacher played, even though he has never studied piano and should, by all rights, possibly never be able to play this piano piece? There's all these like elements that are left open, and it makes the story very interesting. And I would say that this is an anime that I'm sure almost no one is watching. I would say that I feel pretty confident saying that.
What's the viewer count?
Yeah, I haven't.
Or member count on my anime list?
28,000.
Yeah, it's not a lot. That's very.
We're talking.
Is this Netflix? Where's the showing?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I haven't watched it yet, but it sounds interesting.
I assume nobody is watching it, honestly, because it's not action, it's not comedy, it's not moe, it's not ecchi. It's about piano. So like no one's gonna watch it, right? But to me, this is a rare anime where you're going to watch something that you don't feel like you're watching a rehashing of something that you just watched the last season. And I will put most shows we love into that bucket. Like Full Metal Panic. Full Metal Panic is kicking some ass this season, but it's just an action show with mecha.
Yeah.
My Hero Academia, kicking ass this season. It's just a shonen fighting show.
Yeah.
Wotakoi, probably funny. Haven't seen it, but it's just another
romance
nerd people having romance. Every one of these shows
said Netflix, so it's not simulcasting yet.
Okay.
So a lot of these shows,
there's stuff we've seen
before, but this is not one of those. But of course, no one's watching it. So, I basically surrendered this anime so others could pass. I want to pass this very badly, but at this point, I virtually have no choice. So.
It sounds like something that you definitely will watch, and it sounds like something that a certain audience will enjoy. if you're into
our
music.
whole chat is saying they're waiting for it to show on Netflix because
Yeah.
they can't see it legally yet.
But it's also something that's probably not going to come out for a while in the States. At
Yeah.
least. So
This is an anime people should watch simply because it's doing something that you haven't watched 300 times.
yeah, this season is so difficult because it's like there are so many good shows, but it's like
Definitely.
we can only pass 8. Like, what are we going to do? You know, if we could pass 12, then it'd be a different story. Then we could, you know, we'd probably be able to pass everything we want. But
For sure.
It's just not.
So I have to fail it. I really think that it's a good show. Honestly, I have almost no problem with it at all at this point.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting.
My only concerns with it are that it's going to just end up being like a tournament show where they just where they just compete against each other the whole time, and they will never go back and address the questions about the piano in the forest.
Yeah, I'm really curious about like that, whether it's a supernatural element or whether it's a psychological element or something.
Yeah.
So without having seen the prior movie, I don't know if they will ever return to that. And since this is anime and I've seen that happen before, I can't say they will do that. But that is the most interesting thing about the show to me. But we'll never know. Also, once again, nobody would ever leave a concert grand piano in a forest.
Jesus.
You know, a concert grand Steinway, like they start at like 80,000.
Yeah, you
like,
buy a
you're
house.
you ain't leaving it in a forest.
No.
So.
And then how did it get there? It was the teachers. There's a lot of questions. All right. So unfortunately, that'll be failing, but it sounds awesome. So, you know, check it out if you haven't, or when it comes to Netflix, definitely do so.
Right.
All right. I guess I'll go next. The first show I will be doing an impression on is, you know, it's a little known show, not very popular.
Never heard of it.
No one, I've never heard of it myself, but maybe you have. It's something called Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Mandy, have you ever heard of this before?
I have never heard this
Never
before.
heard of it, not once. No. So
Is it one of those Star Trek shows?
Yeah, it's one of those rip-offs of, you know. No. So Legend of the Galactic Heroes is, well, originally it was a show that came out. God, when did the original come out? Like the 80s?
80s, I think.
Yeah, and it's by and large considered to be one of the best anime of all time. It is a space opera. Not
86.
86, yeah. Not too dissimilar from something like Star Wars or something of that nature. It's basically you have some warring factions in space that are, you know, you have like an empire and like the rebels and stuff, and they're fighting over independence and over domination. And so this show that's coming out this season is basically a retelling of, I guess, the first season or the first arc, I should say, of the original show. The original show was basically an OVA, but it was like 120 episodes or something ridiculous. It was very long. And so they're just.
Did you see the original? Sorry.
I have not seen the entirety of the original.
Okay.
I did see. I've seen a few episodes of it, and so I do have something to go off of. You know, while I'm watching this, I have seen like probably the first arc of the original. So.
Okay. I was curious.
So this is basically a retelling of that. It's. Oh, sorry. I was like, what was that? You unplugged something. It's I'll tell you what. I'll just read the synopsis here to kind of give everybody an idea of what the story's about for those that are unaware. This is, of course, from my anime list. It says here, the 150-year-long stalemate between the two interstellar superpowers, the Galactic Empire and the Free Planets Alliance, comes to an end when a new generation of leaders arise. The idealistic military genius Reinhard and the FPA's reserved historian Yang Wen-li. And then it just goes on and talks about them. So basically you have these two characters on either side of the conflict. Reinhard is kind of like this very regal character who is very confident in his abilities as a leader, as a military leader, but he's also very young, and he's working his way up the ranks to gain power. Ultimately, he wants to become, you know, the number one guy. And then you have Yang Wen-li, who is a historian. He's a strategist, though, and he's a really good strategist, but he's kind of just some relatively a nobody who, through a series of events, finds himself in charge of a fleet because all of the officers in command basically die, and so he has to take control, and that's when it's kind of revealed that he's a strategic genius. And the first couple episodes are a battle that they have in space that's really well done. You know, watching the original and watching this, the original suffers from a couple of issues that you have just from the time that it came out, being an 80s show. You know, a lot of the storytelling elements and the animation wasn't up to par with what we have available to us nowadays. And so I feel like they were able to really take that and and so far improve it. To be honest with you, I mean,
I think it looks awesome.
It looks awesome. I love the way they're telling the story, because even though it's the same story, they're telling it in a different way. So like the first episode or the first couple episodes are basically the same series of events, but told through like a different perspective. So that way you get kind of like the end of the first episode, you hear Yang come over like the intercom and like basically say something to the effect of, you know, if you follow my instructions, you'll survive, you know, blah, blah, blah. And so like you're left with like this mystery of like, oh, who is this guy? And then the second episode kind of goes back and plays the series of events through his vantage point. And so you're kind of like, it's interesting how it's unraveling the story. And I mean, again, this is a classic. This is one of the best anime of all time. And so far, this new telling of it is not disappointing. It is damn good. And
I've really enjoyed it so far.
Yeah, and it is something that, I mean, I feel like this is required watching. Like, if you consider yourself an anime fan, you absolutely have to watch this. Mandatory. And yeah, I can't imagine somebody that wouldn't like it. Like, if you don't like it, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I guess everybody's entitled to their opinions, but, you know, we certainly have our differences.
So
I haven't seen the original because I'm so intimidated by that episode number. But the audiobooks are also available, so I'm thinking about trying those out too.
Yeah, I mean,
this really sparked my interest.
Yeah, I mean, so far, just from what's aired thus far with the remake, like, you're not really missing anything from the original. So I would say just start with the remake.
Yeah.
So interesting points here. I revived their tablet, by the way. Interesting points that I'd like to make.
Okay, sure.
I have noticed something, and this has been discussed on our Discord at length.
Okay.
I'll try to be quick, but this might turn into a rant. The original Legend of the Galactic Heroes has a 9.1 on my anime list. The current Legend of the Galactic Heroes, almost the same thing, looks better, right?
Right.
Has a 7.5. Goliath difference. The difference is huge, right? The difference between a 7.5 and a 9.1 on my anime list might as well be the difference between giving anime a 3 and a 10, right? And my opinion is that this is a complete indictment of the anime community as a whole. I think you have anime fans that are older that have watched the original and went on my anime list and gave it a score, which is how it's arriving at such a high score. And then you have newer anime fans that are watching this new one and they're going, well, this anime, I don't know, a 7.5, it says it's average. This is an average anime. Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Well, here's the thing. This hasn't finished airing, so people shouldn't be giving it scores anyways.
Yeah, but you know what? High School DxD has the exact same number of episodes out, and it has a higher score. So that argument, I've had all these arguments, and like the point is that you have a random sampling of two populations of people, new fans and old fans, and the new fans hate it, and the old fans don't, and I think that's really sad. Like, we'd rather watch titties bounce than we would watch like a real story with real characters, you know, audiobooks, everything, etc. Probably fit to be a movie. Probably fit to have I don't even know. I'm sure it may even have novels. It probably does. But like, my point is that I think it's really sad that this. How can you possibly explain why this has a lower score than trash like High School DxD?
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, I made a bet on the Discord, which will almost guarantee that I covered the cost of the bet that I might lose with you. And
are you admitting defeat already?
I'm not, but I'm concerned. But I'm not concerned about the bet I made with Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Okay.
I laid down $50 against somebody that Legend of the Galactic Heroes would not have a higher than an 8 1 week after it concluded.
Ooh, that's tough.
And I will tell you right now that I'm almost certain I will win this bet because since that bet has happened, 500 more people have given Legend of the Galactic Heroes a score, and the rating only rose by 2/100ths of a point.
Peter, or I'm assuming this is who you made the bet with.
I don't know exactly.
He says, "I'm winning this bet, Mitz."
So I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
That you're probably not going to have more than 10,000 people score this anime. You're halfway there, and 500 people just scored it, and the score didn't move. So every time someone scores this anime and that score doesn't move, it becomes even harder for you to get to an 8. And I would say that unless half of the remaining voters give it a 10, you can't win. There will be a point where I'll just say, give me the money, because statistically it will be impossible for you to win the bet. It would take an awful lot of 10s to move a 7.5 above an 8.
Yeah, no, I mean...
So I'm gonna be able to pay for your ramen.
Nice.
But I just think it's so sad. Like, how else can you explain the same anime,
Yeah.
literally almost identical, having such a huge disparity in score? And I think it's simply because new anime fans don't want to watch this stuff anymore. This is not what we want. I don't know how else you can refute it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not fighting you on this.
No, I know, but I was fought by several people, which is how the bet happened.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it is troublesome. I will say the only thing I can say is, one, hasn't finished airing. Two, there's only 35,000 members that are even watching the show at this time. So,
but that's way more than statistically significant.
Yeah. So I mean, but it is.
I just think
troublesome.
it's sad.
It is sad, but hopefully it'll turn around.
I don't even know why studios make this crap anymore. They ought to just make titty shows and keijo. Like that's what people really want.
They mostly do.
Well,
I mean,
that's true.
Like this is definitely a rare show.
Which foolish production IG? You are a fool. How dare you make Legend of the Galactic Heroes? It's clearly trash.
I'd also say probably the people who are watching Legend of the Galactic Heroes are probably older people who are taking it more seriously than kids who are more likely to just throw up a score. They're probably going to go, maybe I should finish the show before I give it a proper score.
That is another point, is that the people that are scoring a show when it only has a handful of episodes out are probably not the most critically minded. But then you have to consider what's the ratio, how many people are actually going to watch this after it's completed and are, mature enough to be able to understand the show. I mean, I don't know.
I think the point still stands. Like, 4,400 people have seen enough that they give it a score and they don't like it.
Yeah.
So,
well, I will tell you that
it makes me want to cry.
Yeah, this show is amazing, and
I love you.
Yeah, definitely. It's good.
I mean, if you're not into serious stuff, if you, and no judgment here, but if your thing is bouncing boobs and cute girls and all that, then this probably isn't for you. But if you like a little more substance out of your anime, then absolutely you must watch this show.
And I'll tell you right now that I don't think that group of people that just wants bouncing boobs, I don't think that's our audience. I think we culled that audience a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's anybody listening. I'm sure everyone listening is like, who are these people that hate this show?
It's the majority of anime fans.
I mean, it's the majority of anime fans, but that's not our listenership, I don't believe.
Yeah.
But I do feel sad that.
So I will absolutely, obviously, and of course be passing Legend of the Galactic Heroes. I feel like that's without saying.
All right. Well, here's your go.
It'd be sad after all that you failed.
You're excited. Feel these nipples.
Yeah, I'll be failing Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Not enough to way, girls. Sorry.
Yeah, maybe all the characters will gender swap and take all their clothes off and dance nude in a circle.
When is the bathhouse scene? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Reinhardt in the hot springs. I'm in here.
When is the Christmas in Space episode where they all date and they finally will hold hands at the end?
That's what I'm looking for. All right, Mandy. All right. I believe you are up.
Yeah. So mine is Persona 5 the animation, and it is being adapted by A1 Pictures, and Persona 5 the animation, it's not, I'm trying to think how to explain this. It's basically exactly like the game if you played the game. I'll try to give a quick synopsis of it.
Okay.
So Persona 5, I had it up and now I lost
while
it.
You're pulling it up, let me ask you a question. Do you have to have played the game in order to understand the show, or?
I 100% think so.
Okay.
Because they did not make this for newbies.
Because I have not played the game,
series.
and I watched the first.
And
two
you watched
episodes.
it. What did you think?
I watched the first 2 episodes, I think, and I was completely lost. I mean, I kind of understood part of it, but I felt like there was so much that I was like, I have no idea what the hell's going on.
Let me challenge that, Mandy. Because I watched the first episode, and you're right. It's like shot for shot, the game, right?
Yes.
The game itself doesn't make much sense until you have progressed a ways and you start to realize what's happening.
Okay.
But
it's also the 5th in the series, so a lot of people have already played previous Personas.
Yeah, I've never played any of them.
Yes, there are familiarities like your personas that you summon and the Velvet Room and all that. But
I don't know what any of that is. I've never played any Persona game.
That's fine, and they're not going to explain to you what the Velvet Room is at all at any point. Yeah. But the whole like diving into subconsciouses and stuff like that which is what's happening in Persona 5. Like they will explain all that.
Okay.
They just don't do it. They just don't do it. You have to wait a while.
I feel like I kind of got an idea of what was going on, but I felt like the show definitely wasn't telling me. But I was just like, oh, okay, I guess they're going into some kind of alternate dimension, and then he's got like a split personality.
Yeah. So Persona 5 follows, and they changed the character's name from in the game it was Akira Kurisu, and then they changed it to Amamiya Ren. So it follows Ren. He has just moved to Tokyo, and he is on probation from getting into a confrontation with somebody. And so now they're like, if you do anything bad, you're gonna get kicked out. And he's staying with Sojiro and at this like cafe shop. And while he's there, he meets in the first episode, he meets Ryuji, which is another kid at the school who's also kind of seen as a like a bad kid. Everyone thinks that he's kind of like the delinquent of the school.
I like him.
And yeah,
he reminds me of me when I was in school.
He's such a punk. So he meets Ryuji, and on his way to school, he ends up just this app gets downloaded to his phone, and he doesn't know what it's to, and now he's starting to see weird things. He sees this I don't know how to explain it than this demon that pop up in the middle of Tokyo, and up in the into another dimension, which is like a copy of their school, except it's really messed up. There are like these knights walking around, like these like
like the swim teacher is like some crazy king dude.
Volleyball.
Yeah.
Or volleyball teacher or whatever.
Yeah, the volleyball teacher. His name is Kamoshida. And so he's there, but he's also like a twisted version of that teacher. Like he's wearing this crown, and he just has like this cape on with just boxers, no other clothing. And he's like a massive creep in the school. And so they do end up escaping there. But at the end of the first episode, we get to see they get captured and thrown into a cell, and the king, or Kamoshida, is going to execute them. But I almost said Akira again. I always forget his name because they changed it. Amamiya Ren. He awakens his persona inside of him. And I actually really liked that scene in the first episode because it reminded me a lot of the game too, just this epic feeling. So I was kind of pumped after the first episode because it gave you the same feelings as the game. But then I was thinking about it, and that's why I talked to you about it. They don't really, the pacing is so quick. It's because, and I'm not blaming them at all. I was expecting this because there is a lot to cover.
Yeah, it's very
long. I don't see how they're going to fit the entire series into 24 episodes. It seems impossible to me.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, like Persona 4's story was a lot shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Persona 4's story not short, but Persona 5's story it's close to 100 hours.
Definitely.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, the pacing was so quick that I was like, I get it because I played the game twice, so I can fill in the empty spaces. But for someone who has no like knowledge of Persona 5 or Persona in general, they're going to be lost. They're not going to have a clue what's going on.
I don't disagree. And I think that a lot of it's going to come off as being very silly to people because a lot of the monsters are going to be silly, and they're going to continue to be that way.
Yeah, because it makes sense for us because we've seen how the knights turn into these creatures like the pixies and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense to us. Someone watching it for the first time is be like, what the hell is happening? I don't understand. So, yeah, I mean, it's fun if you've played the game. It is a lot of fun.
Yep.
If you have not played the game, I would not recommend it because you're going to be lost. I'd say play the game first, please.
I would just
because
say,
the game is a lot of fun.
I would just say, regardless, go play the game because it's
definitely
a borderline masterpiece. I mean, to me it was like the game. There was virtually nothing to criticize it for. I mean, the game is pretty much flawless. I mean, it's amazing.
I don't have that kind of attention span.
Well, it is long. So you gotta know that
and
you're
a lot of reading.
A lot of reading. You're diving into a very story heavy game that's a very character driven. It's very, very long, but it's a damn good game.
I would.
So
you know
yeah,
what?
even.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. I was just gonna say. So even after the first episode, the pacing was very, very quick. The fourth episode is when they finally, so far that I've watched, is when they finally end the Kamoshida, and then.
Oh my god! Are
Yeah.
you kidding? Are you kidding me? Oh, they are
it's-
never getting this shit done. Is it going to be 2 seasons?
I don't understand because we haven't even met
Oh my
Yusuke
lord!
yet.
Oh my
It-
god!
It might be one of
There's
those that they
so
never.
much.
It never even concludes. It's just like they do the first part of the story just to kind of get you to go play the game.
I'm going to be honest
Yeah.
with you. If that's the speed they're going at, this anime will be 100 episodes.
Yeah,
At
and
least.
even with that, I mean, it's 24 episodes. Even with that 4 episodes, you're like, oh wow, they have a whole lot more to go. But even if they're flying through it, and still, it feels like I don't know, like
Wow.
it makes sense when you're dungeon crawling, but it's so weird. It feels weird when you're watching it and they're just kind of skipping through the dungeon or the the whatever palace they're currently in.
To give you an idea, Kazuo,
Yes.
that the Kamoshida dungeon, I could call it, is one dungeon.
Okay.
This game probably has 10 of them. So and they spent 4 episodes on the first dungeon.
Yeah.
And there's a crap load of stuff outside of dungeons to cover. Like, wow, a lot. Probably at least half
There's
the
a
game. done.
lot.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be another one of those games that they just give you the taste so that we can go buy the game.
200 hours here, 200 episodes. Here we come.
And now I did want to say, so I've never played a Persona game.
You should.
But I did watch someone play a Persona game.
Was that me?
No.
Which one?
It was, I think, 3. It was the one that the case was like yellow.
That's 4.
4. Okay, I'm sorry, 4. And it's funny because like I would rather watch someone play it than play it myself. But I'm weird like that. Like I've always been that way with games. Like when I was a kid, I would have my friends come over and play the game, and I would have like the manual or whatever opened up and be like, like we'd be playing a JRPG or something, and I'd be like, okay, you want to go here and grab this item, Like I just rather watch someone play it than play it myself. So that's probably why.
The other weird thing, and this isn't much of a spoiler at all, because if you played the game, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't played the game, it's not going to make any sense anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But in the 5th episode, after they finish the first Kamoshida conflict, they're starting to go into mementos, and
I
which
forgot
seems
about that.
strange to me.
The fresh maker.
Now they're gonna put mementos in here. I'm like, that's a lot to cover. Are they gonna go through each floor?
They have to cover
But-
mementos. That's
Yeah, they have to
pivotal
because
the
that's what
story.
the game is. But yeah,
Mementos, freshness, fresh goes better.
Mentos,
But-
mementos, the fresh maker.
yeah. But I mean, like the teaser they gave for Persona 5 was a taste of like a side mission. So I don't even understand why they're covering it. Except
Interesting.
I don't know. It's a lot of fun if you played the game. I am going to fail it because there are a lot better shows out there this season. But so yeah, if you played the game, watch it. If you haven't played the game, please. It's a lot of fun.
That is one
yeah,
big
that's
pile
it.
of shit.
I mean, it looks nice too, but it's not amazing.
All right.
All right, let me go next.
Go ahead.
I'm rearing to go.
Do you think?
Captain Tsubasa.
Captain Tsubasa.
Captain Tsubasa.
Tsubasa
is...
Taisho.
I don't know.
Is that right?
Maybe.
Right.
Captain Tsubasa is
Something like that.
Is an anime that is based on the original that came out in 1983. So we're talking 35-year gap. Pretty huge gap.
You were in your 20s at that time?
Yes. I was still on my dad's balls by that time.
I know.
So Captain Tsubasa is a sports anime about soccer. It's about a boy named Tsubasa Ozora, who is a student who is obsessed with soccer. He has been obsessed with soccer since the day he was born. Well, there was an incident when he was a child. Where
Amazing incident, by the way.
Oh, you see the first episode?
Yeah, I've seen the first 3.
Okay. So Tsubasa
Nice.
is playing with a soccer ball as a baby, and he crawls into he kicks the ball and it goes into the street.
Yeah, like he's a baby. Like
He's a baby. He's like 2.
Yeah.
Or maybe not even. I don't know. Barely walking, and he walks / crawls his way into the street to get the ball, as a la Pet Sematary. If you've seen that movie, you haven't.
No,
It's from the 80s.
I haven't
Of course
seen it.
you haven't. So and a truck comes, and the truck is going to kill him.
Yes.
He's going to run him over.
And that's the end of the show.
And the little Tsubasa's he's holding onto the soccer ball, and the truck hits him. But the truck hits the ball.
Right.
And it bounces him off the road.
So yeah, so he's a baby who is just slightly bigger than the ball itself.
Yeah.
The truck hits the ball, he bounces off.
Yes.
And
flies
then, like,
off the road,
lands on the ground, but ball first, so he just bounces on the ball.
Yeah. And he's had this ball ever since he was a baby.
Yeah.
So much so that he talks to it, calls it his friend, and
crazy,
and will not go anywhere without it. He dribbles it everywhere. And if you know anything about soccer, dribbling is like where you control the ball with your feet while you move.
Yeah.
Essentially. And Tsubasa is a badass. He is a damn good soccer player. Not like most sports anime where I feel like the hero starts out kind of shitty and then he gets better.
No, he's just always
Tsubasa is OP. He is crazy good.
It's like fantasy level OP. Like he kicks the ball like several miles.
It felt like I think it was at an elevation, so but still not believable. But yeah, he kicks the ball. If he was a professional like soccer player, I would say maybe he can make that kick because I've seen soccer players kick the ball the whole length of the field.
Right.
Like a goalie will punt the ball in an arc,
right?
Like 300 feet.
Jeez.
So as an adult, being that Tsubasa was up on a hill when he kicked that ball, maybe he could do it as an adult, but maybe as a 12-year-old or whatever, not believable as an 11-year-old. So there's a school that is nearby, and actually 2 schools are fighting over this soccer field. And there is the one school that's way more powerful than the other one has a goalkeeper named Genzo Wakabayashi, and he is so good as a goalkeeper that he will stop anything from going in the goal, even if it's not a soccer ball. He's like, you throw anything at me, I will stop it. I don't care what it is. And he's like, okay.
So dumb.
He's like, line up all of your best athletes. They can use whatever they use from their sports, tennis balls, javelins, whatever they use. I will stop it all. And if you even score 1 goal, you can have your soccer field back.
Yeah.
Nobody can score.
And he stops everything.
It's like the only thing they didn't try on him was a golf ball.
Or a bullet.
Or a bullet.
No, they did try a golf ball.
Did they?
Yeah. Yeah, one kid hit a golf ball.
I didn't remember that.
I'm almost positive.
There was a basketball, a volleyball, a
baseball, a javelin,
a football, a javelin, a baseball, a tennis ball. Yeah, a javelin. Ridiculous.
Oh my! It was over the top.
So, no one can stop him.
Yeah.
And of course, Tsubasa's witnessing this, and he's very interested. Next episode, he kicks the ball from on top of the hill into the goalkeeper Wakabayashi's house, basically, and he catches it, and it says on the ball written, "I challenge you" or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is kind of badass.
That is cool. Yeah.
Tsubasa goes down, meets him, and says, "I challenge you," and he just has to score 1 goal.
Right.
And I think Tsubasa gets his first shot blocked, and if I recall, and then a man whose name is oh boy, what's the guy's name?
He's a Spanish dude, isn't he?
He's Brazilian. His name is Roberto Hongo. Is on the sideline by the corner, and the ball deflects to the corner, and he basically crosses it from the corner in front of the goal. Tsubasa, which is still in play by the rules that they're dealing with, because Tsubasa just has to score. He heads the ball,
right,
and
which
scores.
Is not good for you.
No, CTE. He scores, and then the goalkeeper is like so committed to stopping it that he misses the ball, and Tsubasa scores, but he hits his head on the goalpost, and there's like blood coming down his face.
Yeah,
it's very intense. This is a really good soccer anime. Like after the first 2 episodes, I almost had this at a 5. I was like, this anime is damn good.
Yeah,
I love when a show sets up a future like rematch. They did it in Megalobox quite well.
Yeah.
Where Junk Dog will fight Yuri later down the road, and we're all anticipating that the whole show. In this show, they're doing the same thing, very much like Megalobox. Second episode, Tsubasa scores, and they have agreed to I'll see you in the regional tournament or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know that they're going to meet head on, and it's going to be some epicness down the road. I am on episode 5 of this show, and it has come down to earth a little bit since episode 2. I still would call it good, but I'm a little annoyed how Tsubasa literally can take on an entire soccer team by himself.
Yeah.
Because it takes the realism out of soccer for me, and I played soccer for 12 years, and I know a lot about it.
Oh, you did? Oh.
And that just wouldn't happen, right?
I didn't know that about you.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, have you seen these leg muscles?
I mean, yeah, they are impressive for sure.
Thank you very much.
Especially the glutes.
You want to touch them?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So, so Captain Tsubasa is really good. But I have to make a choice here. I have to choose between this and other anime that we have. And this is going to be a long show. I don't know how long it will be. I'm going to guess it's going to go on for a while. The original Captain Tsubasa is... How many episodes is the original? I'm trying to find out. Let's see here. The original Captain Tsubasa is 128 episodes.
Yeah.
This anime
I
is,
see in the chat says 80 episodes it's scheduled for.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, for
80,
now.
Yeah.
So it's very long, and I'm gonna have to fail it. I know I said I was gonna pass it for sure before, but you know, things have happened since then, and there's just not room for it. Really, the reason I'm gonna watch it for sure because I do like it a lot. I think it's really good.
That's
But
great.
but it's the kind of show that we probably wouldn't be reviewing for like 2 years anyway.
Yeah.
Which
And
kind of
then
makes
by
it
that
tough.
point we wouldn't review it because we're not going to review.
Oh, I would because I'm gonna watch it week to week because I love it.
If you watch it week to week, but like there are many other shows that we've passed and then been like, this show is like 50 episodes and no one's gonna watch that.
I'll tell you right now, as a this is a high quality anime.
Yes.
It's good. You should watch it. If you like sports anime at all, watch it. Now you're not going to get your like few Joshis out of it. Like I don't see that happening in this show. That just doesn't have that feel to it.
You kidding me? Look at Tsubasa. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
I don't think so.
Look at that sexy. No,
I know it's usually the case, but this one they're just too young.
No,
I don't think it's going to happen. But like, so maybe it's not going to appeal to like the Haikyuu crowd necessarily because I just don't think it has that feel to it. But like, that's how I feel.
I mean, I don't think the entire Haikyuu crowd is just there for Fujoshi.
I don't think that either. But like, this anime doesn't feel like Haikyuu either.
Yeah.
It's not like all. You know, they're not spending half the show on like buddy interactions.
This is like a classic sports anime.
Yeah, it's more about yeah, exactly.
Classic.
It's really good though. I think that everybody who likes sports anime should at least try it. It may not be what you want, but I think it's awesome. But I have to fail it anyway because we just don't have room for it, and I am sad about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, doesn't mean you can't
you're
watch it.
super into it too. Yeah.
I think our tablet just died again. I hate this tablet.
Well,
but yeah, I
that's all
cannot
right.
fail. I cannot pass Captain Tsubasa. I'm sorry.
All right. Well,
next anime.
So the last anime that I will be doing an impression on today, I think I still have something left. I don't know, but is a little show called Magical Girl Ore.
Can't wait to hear your
Should I just fail it
opinions
now?
on this.
So Magical Girl Maho Shoujo Ore is it's an I'm gonna read you the synopsis here.
Well, that's a long synopsis.
It's insane.
Well, I may cut it off at some point, but it says here the story is about a 15-year-old girl who is a newbie idol in love with her best friend's brother, who is also a popular idol. But she runs into a scary Yakuza guy and finds out that her mother was an ex-magical girl, and the Yakuza guy was her mascot. Her love interest gets kidnapped by demons that look like burly men with cute squirrel heads.
What the hell?
So she contracts the Yakuza to become a magical girl, which in this story means she turns into a handsome guy in a magical girl outfit. On top of that, her love interest shows an attraction towards her magical guy form. Her best friend turns out to be in love with her and also becomes a magical cross-dressing guy to save her life.
I got it.
So, yeah.
It's pandering.
So this show is basically a parody of a magical girl show. I mean, not basically.
Yeah.
It is a parody of a magical girl show. Like, there's this girl. She's super dumb and ditzy. It turns out her mom was a magical girl. But
it is insane.
The show is completely insane, and like her mother was a magical girl, and her mascot, you know, who you would imagine is like a cute little bear or a cat or something, is this like real like gangster Yakuza guy.
Grotesque.
Yeah. And so she ends up becoming a magical girl and working alongside this guy. But when she transforms, she turns into this jacked dude in a magical girl outfit. And basically slaughters these monsters, like blood everywhere, just murders the crap out of them. And yeah, it's just this whole, like, her best friend becomes a magical girl / boy, and this show is just completely ridiculous.
Those squirrel head buff dudes are terrifying.
Yeah, I mean,
it's so crazy.
So I'll be honest with you, the show is actually a lot of fun to watch. Like, it's so stupid and goofy. I don't think this is something that I would necessarily watch, like, I would marathon it, but like an episode every now and then is like, oh my god, this show's so ridiculous. So like
same.
to watch an episode here and there, and it is 12 episodes, so it might be something that you get a kick out of. Ultimately, though, I mean, let's be real. With the season that we're having, there's no way on earth I'm going to pass this.
Did it have at least 3 good minutes in the first 3 episodes?
It depends on, for you, no. Absolutely not for you.
Okay, just checking.
But
well, I think this show is pandering 100%.
But for everyone else, they'll get a kick out of it.
But I guess probably 75% of anime is pandering.
You could say everything in the entertainment industry is pandering in some way or another.
In some way or another.
Yeah.
Some of it's more obvious than others.
But either way, this show is completely ridiculous, and it's meant to be, and you might get a kick out of it. So maybe check it out. But ultimately, it's not. There's no way with this season we're having. It's not passing.
Okay.
All right. So that was an easy
Wow, we
one.
failed a lot of stuff.
Pretty simple.
Did we fail 4?
That's a good question.
We were pretty upbeat though the last 2 weeks. I think we passed practically everything last week.
Yeah, we failed 4 shows. No.
All right.
Yeah.
So we have 5 more impressions to do. We have Gouda Zeni, Loop on the Third Part 5, Tada Never Falls in Love, Steins Gate 0, and Roku Hyodo Yotsu, which I can't play the drop.
I can't play the drop because the tablet's dead, but I will dance anyways.
He's dancing.
Ha! Mailbag. All right. So, of course, you can leave us a mailbag by heading over to our website, AAAPodcast.com, and clicking on the mailbag button, just like RepentandReprise did, who also sent us the idea for today's main topic.
That's
so
right.
Shout out to Repent and Reprise.
I was wondering if any of you know of any other anime that has classical, originally composed music. The only anime I know of so far that I know as I've seen the anime is Simone and Gunslinger Girl. Same composer. Toshihiko Sahashi. Such a distinct composition style and Strawberry Panic.
I have no idea.
I don't understand. I do not understand this question at all. I'm baffled by it.
Any anime that has classical, originally composed music. So
I'm going to tell you right now that no anime music that's ever been created for an anime
is
classical.
Although it may sound like classical music.
So I don't know exactly what we're talking about. Are we talking about original music in the classical style?
Yes, I think
or
so.
Are we talking about actual classical music, like they took Mozart and put it in an anime, a la Nodame Cantabile?
I think the former is what he's talking about. It's something that is original to the anime, but in the classical style.
Yeah, every Ghibli movie.
Well, that's true.
All right, next mailbag.
All right, next.
If you want classical music, Nodame Cantabile is really good. Your Lie in April, My Neighbor the Yamadas, Piano no Mori. All of those have classical music. Of course, My Neighbor the Yamadas is a Ghibli film.
True.
There's a couple of Chopin nocturnes in there.
Mandy, you want to read the next one?
Sure. This one is from Yotoru Vegeta. He says, "Hey AAA gang, is there any technology from anime you would want in real life? For example, you always see Lelouch and Code Geass use these mechanical folding hangers. Maybe they exist in reality, but I've never come across badass hangers like that."
Easy answer.
Sweet.
Easy answer.
Pokeball.
Capsules. Capsule.
Oh, yeah.
All day. Are you kidding me? Just toss a capsule.
You kidding me? Playoffs.
I don't know what that means.
I just hope we can win a game.
Is that?
Yeah, so for someone wearing a Yankees hat, you have a lot to learn about sports.
Is that a sports thing?
Of course it is.
Oh. I don't know. Who said that? Wait, let me guess. Well, first off, what sport?
Football.
I'm gonna. Oh God, I don't know any football players. Who's a football player? Eli
It's not
Manning.
even a player; it's a coach. I think it was Jim Mora Jr. who coached the Indianapolis Colts like 20 years ago. There's no way you would have known.
No clue who that is.
Yeah.
So what were we saying?
I would pick Denocoil, the glasses in Denocoil, the ones that show all the augmented reality that exists in the world. Like all the technology is an augmented form. It's like if you've seen Denocoil, like imagine a digital world that's laid over top of the world we know today.
Yeah. AR.
And you can only see it through wearing these glasses.
Yeah.
And I'm talking like monsters walking around and like hidden treasure chests and all kinds of craziness. Like that's what Denocoil is.
It's AR. Yeah. Like, well,
Yeah.
Do they interact with you though?
Yes, they can.
Ooh, I like that. I also like Sword Art Online's gear thing that they had.
Oh yeah. For me, I said in Ghost in the Shell where their like hands split and they type real fast.
Yeah.
I want those hands.
Oh.
I want those. Think about how fast I play in fucking.
Oh my God.
I destroy people.
Let me hear your maniacal laugh.
My maniacal laugh?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have one. I'm too sweet.
Okay. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, whatever.
All right, next mailbag.
All right, next mailbag comes from Hoyin. It says, "What do you think of the current trend of anime with shows like ReZero and Konosuba giving birth to the fantasy era?" What? ReZero?
They gave birth to the fantasy era?
Fantasy era.
Oh,
this is hurting my brain. It's hurting. With all the hate and complaints of ecchi and harem of the last era, it brought the death of harem ecchi shows, and now people are complaining about how bad current trend of anime is. Do you think this new fantasy era of anime was an improvement over the ecchi harem slapstick comedy era of the past?
All right, here comes Mitsuki's smart-ass comment.
Here we
go. Are you ready for it? For me, literally anything would be better than the slapstick ecchi harem era. And as I wrote on the document in bold, I would rather watch a compilation of German shepherds shitting in someone's yard.
Sorry, that would be funny.
Yeah, it would be funny. It'd be funnier than slapstick ecchi harems.
But I thought Love Hina was your favorite anime of all time. All right. Well, okay, you can stop that now. That's getting real creepy. So I don't know if we're necessarily in a fantasy era. I think
hell no.
Yeah, definitely not. I guess it depends. It depends
Yeah,
on what
do
you
you
mean
think you mean isekai? Maybe.
Possibly. I mean, most isekai is fantasy as well, I guess you could say. So if that's what you mean, I can definitely understand that. Do I prefer this over? I mean,
the answer is no.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't prefer it either. Like I would.
don't prefer it
Can
either.
Can I opt out? Can I just be like, I'll watch everything but? But yeah, I guess if gun to my head, I'll say yeah.
I like fantasy shows. It just depends if it's a good fantasy show.
Right. All right.
Well, I don't know.
All right. Well, we've got one mailbag left.
Yeah.
Is that Mandy? Is it your turn?
Go for it.
I can read it.
All right.
Because I actually know the answer to this one.
Oh, okay.
This one is by How. I think that's how you pronounce it. Have you guys played or heard of the game Doki Doki Literature Club?
Yes.
If you have, what do you think of it and its gameplay? So I have played it. I didn't 100% it because, man, it's so hard to talk about Doki Doki without spoiling the entire thing. But it's one of those games where it sets up like it's a dating sim, but it's a game disguised inside of another genre.
Right.
So
good way to put it.
My problem with it is those first 2 hours were a slog to get through. Because if it wasn't for the warning I got before the game that said, warning, this has like very disturbing imagery, I would not have kept up with it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I have to know what this twist is that everyone's talking about. So, and I mean, it was okay. I wasn't really surprised because I thought there were enough hints throughout the game what was going to happen. And it's not the first game to do it. The only difference is the other game doesn't have an official English translation, which was, I think it was Kimi, Kimi to Kanojo no Koi, which is almost, I mean, it's very similar.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I know there is a shortened version of that name too. I think the shortened version was Totono, I think is what they were calling it online. But I played it a long time ago with a ROM with an English patch. I don't even know if that's available anymore. But that one...
If the tablet was working, Mitsuki would be playing Nerd Alert right now.
I have like 300 edits on my document here to be made tomorrow because of this tablet. I hate it.
Yeah.
I might take this tablet and put it in my microwave.
Well, I mean, yeah, you could do that. It might destroy your microwave, though.
Well, microwaves are cheap.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, I wasn't surprised. It's for a completely free game. I mean, go for it. Just be warned that there are some very disturbing things in it. A lot of trigger warnings, especially with like suicide is one of them. So be careful. But it's great.
I haven't played it, but I pretty much know everything about it at this point. Because I've listened to people talk about it. I appreciate what they're doing. Like I'm a big fan of outside the box games, or storytelling. So I appreciate that. I don't know if it's something I would play personally, but it seems interesting.
I haven't played it. I'll just make one comment that Doki Doki Literature Club for sure sounds like a porn game. It's not a porn. It's not a porn game, right?
The other game did have some hentai scenes in it, I think. If I remember correctly. The other one was very similar, where you go through these routes and then it turns very meta and turns into a different genre.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that brings us to a close.
Mm-hmm.
I
would say so.
This has been a fun episode.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, quite yes.
Yes,
Thank you. Yes, thank you for joining us. All right, so thank you everybody for joining us. Of course, you can find us anytime on our website, AAAPodcast.com. Go to aapodcast.com/join to create an account and sign up for all of our additional content, hentai episodes, Hobby Addicts, which we've recorded one before the show about Infinity War, after parties, which I believe we'll do after the show.
Oh, we're doing it.
And just a bunch of just a shitload of anime,
just a shitload
and nerd goodness.
Yeah.
You want to listen to us talk? You can. It's only going to cost you a couple bucks. It's super simple. Of course, you can also head over to our Facebook, facebook.com/groups/AAAPodcast. And also, of course, from the main page of the website at the very top, you can have access to our Discord server where we all just hang out and watch anime and play video games and
talk late at night and
send nudes.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe not that part.
What?
No, never mind. Forget it.
MIDZPLZ. Nudes, please.
I have not participated in this.
Oh.
I have. There are nude pictures.
Mandy,
of me on
don't
Discord.
check your DMs then.
Just kidding.
Okay.
So thank you again to everybody who's listening. We appreciate you. We love you very much. And we will see you next time. On the AAA Podcast.
Thank you.
Pretend you're hearing music right now. Ending the show.
It's the end of the show. Thanks for coming. Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast. That's our show.